phase.
All right, we are live.
There's not a single composer in the top list of composers who sound anything
Well,
like
who said it was the
First
top
Card.
list? OS,
We're good to go.
OSC.
It's not Danny
OBS.
Elfman. It's not John Williams. It's not Alan Silvestri.
Hey, I know more than just the famous podcasters. I said podcasters, composers. I know Florence Henderson, and I don't think she was a composer.
Hold on, everyone be quiet.
Are you doing something?
Nope, he's just telling us to be quiet, and then he muted himself. Hooked on a feeling.
Hold on, give me 1 second.
We'll give you all the seconds.
All right, here we go. Welcome to another episode of the Shut Up and Roll for Initiative podcast, a live play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign from the Shut Up and Respawn network. Find us at www.shutupandrespawn.com, join our Discord channel at the links provided on the website, and consider supporting us at patreon.com/SUARFI. Now it's time to shut up and roll for initiative.
Hello. My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Dare to die.
Great. Now let's regroup, out of harm's way, and form a plan.
Get out of here. We're gonna vlog it up. See yourself or kill the villain.
Either we heal now as a team, or we will die as individuals.
Kira, it's time.
The day may come when the courage of men fails, when we forsake our friends and break all bonds of fellowship. But it is not this day. An hour of wolves and shattered shields when the age of men comes crashing down. But it is not this day. This day we sleep all night.
Master Chief, am telling me what you're doing on that ship?
Sir, finishing this fight.
Spears shall be shaken. Shields shall be splintered. A dark day. A red day. When the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive.
But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Shut Up and Roll for Initiative podcast, where me, Steven, we've got Devon, Barry, and Mike here, where we try to play Dungeons & Dragons and get all the rules incorrect, but we're going to have a fun time doing it. So, to start off, last time we were here, we'll do a real quick recap, all right? We fought a bunch of dudes. Shield did not die for the very first time in like the whole campaign. We did a session where he did not die. Mike had a session where he actually rolled and killed a bunch of stuff. Devon did not murder any innocent people. And overall, I think we had a really good session where we were actually coming back to the town of Phandalin to figure out where we're going to go next now that we've encountered the dragon and we're getting ready to go fight off a bunch of people.
I was just off my game last time, okay? Tonight,
I understand.
gonna be a different
All
night.
right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. We are in the village of Phandalin, and we are deciding where we're going to go. I think we have a couple options of whether we need to go find a sword or take someone to a mine so that she can piece out of this town that she doesn't like. So, all right, Barry, take it away.
As the morning dawns, Finn has had an opportunity to talk with Helia Thornton. Helia has made a proposition that
Proposition.
he escort her, or him and his companions escort her to the to a mine that she knows about that not a lot of people of Phandalin know about. But she is really kind of tired of what's happening in Phandalin. She's been running the Miners Exchange for a really long time. With the leadership of Harbin Wester, she's pretty exhausted with what's going on. It feels like Neverwinter is just kind of encroaching in a more political aspect, and they don't really seem to be supporting the hardworking people of Phandalin. So she would really like some help getting to this mine. She kind of wants to just stay there, deal with not deal with Phandalin anymore. It felt like Finn was a little excited about that prospect, but he hadn't really made any conversation with his companions yet. In the meantime, Lennane Greywind had explained to both Shield and Barrick that we really need to get rid of this dragon, and there actually is a sword hidden away in the Dragon Barrow that would be useful against this creature. She's promised to provide some assistance as much as she can, if you're willing to do that. So you guys find yourself once again at the Stonehill Inn, as the morning is breaking, as the hustle and bustle of the village begins, with some decisions to be had. I'm not sure if Finn is actually in the village or not.
I am outside the village camping.
Approximately 100 feet, so he's still within bow shot.
It's true.
It's within
I'm within bow shot.
So there's been a couple of requests made to you all, but it's kind of time to decide which of those options you want to take.
Barrick, I think it's time we grab some supplies and we head off. I don't really much want to stay in town very long. If we can, the quicker we leave, the quicker we can get some stuff done and we can actually help people instead of staying here.
Sounds good. I think we have our direction. Let's go to yon supply wagon and get some supplies.
Is there anything that we need for the trip? Do we have enough rations? Do we need anything else?
We're probably short on rations. We should probably get some of those. I only have I probably need to pick up some more crossbow bolts. As far as rations go, it looks like I have 2 rations. I only have 2. That's it. I do. I only have 2 rations. So yes, I need to go get some more. And we'll probably need to get some from Fen. I need some more crossbow bolts. So let's go.
All right. Then we need to go to Barthen's Provisions.
So Barthen's is just opening up. They're getting things ready. They're rolling some casks out to the front. They are laying out some tables and things to kind of get things going. Elmar Barthen, the old proprietor, is back there wiping down counters and getting ready. And says, "Glad to see you. Hey lads, so you're making quite a name for yourselves around here. I hoping that maybe you rid us of this pesky beast that seems to be wanting to encroach on our lands."
You mean
We're
Harbin?
gonna do our best to get rid of all the beasts in your way.
We would truly appreciate it.
You betcha. You betcha. That dragon included. We'll get rid of your good for town
There
master
are
too.
quite a few beasts.
There are. We be in search of we are in search of some rations and some supplies for our journey. You point us in the direction and we'll supply up.
Oh, gladly. My rations. I'll take 5 silver for a day's worth of rations.
Shield. What should we do here? What should we buy for?
Well, where are you headed, lads?
I don't know. I don't know. Where are we going? The Shield.
So we've been asked to go find an item, and that is over near. I'll tell you what it's over near. Okay, I'll tell you. Give me a second.
Just pull out that map. Because we're in Phandalin, yes.
Do the Burrow Mound towards the Burrow Mounds. Is that a place?
The Burrow
Is that a
Mounds.
place
Headed
you
to
know
the
of?
Burrow Mounds. It is. In fact, let me. Do you know how long of a journey you have ahead of you? Let me let me enlighten you.
Oh,
we
hey,
want you to
nice.
be well. We want you to be well provisioned if you're heading that way. Let me see here. So he pulls up his map and lays it out on the table. If you're looking now, you're going to be pretty much on your way north to Neverwinter. And you can really keep to the road if you wish. It would be the safest, and the road is well traveled, and you're not going to face a lot of nonsense on your way. But while you're headed, I'd say near the edge of the forest, somewhere between the road and there. Let's see if I can find my. Give me that. The barrow's about, I'd say a good day and a half's travel from here with a good horse and a wagon. Near 2 days.
Then I believe we have enough provisions to make that trip. I have enough for all of us, I believe. That's not as far as I thought it would be.
I forget this guy's name. What's his name?
This is Elmar. Elmar Barth.
Yeah.
Elmar, do you have anything in the way of some crossbow bolts? I need to resupply those.
Oh, we've got plenty of ammunition laying around here.
Excellent.
And food for the horses. Food for the horse for our wagon.
We can sell you food for the horses.
I'll pay for the animals.
Yeah.
Okay.
20 bolts is a gold piece.
Word
indeed, lad.
Word
indeed.
Wordeth up.
Wordeth to thine mother.
Wait a second. Am I buying these by the bundle? What's happening here?
You're gonna buy them by the bundle. They're bundled bolts.
Oh, they are bundled. Awesome.
Bundled bolts of 20.
I can.
How much for food for the animals?
It's gonna be 10 silver, a gold, I guess, enough to feed your animals on the journey for a day.
All right, I pass him over 1 gold.
Do you think that Fenn's gonna need anything? Can we get him something? Maybe a muzzle or something to keep his mouth shut?
I have enough rations for Finn also. I think I can cover this trip.
Okay. What about arrows? Should we try to bring him a peace offering? Bring him some arrows.
I think that might. I don't know. I am for sure certain that there are some special type of arrow that Finn uses, and that these won't be adequate. But it would be a nice peace offering.
Do you have any trick arrows that say explode as he loads them?
I don't have anything so fancy, son, but they're well made and will serve well.
I'm sure he has his own arrows. Well, I appreciate you, Elmer. Do you have any glue? Sorry.
Couldn't help it.
Why do people keep asking me that?
Everybody asks me that question.
We appreciate you, sir. We should dispatch of this dragon soon. We will see you. Well met.
We would truly be grateful.
Have a good.
Keep those orcs away from our village as well.
Word. I mean, let's go find yes.
Wordeth.
Right.
Let's go find Finn. I believe he's on the outskirts of town. So we're gonna go we're gonna go find Finn.
So you're in Fandolin and
with our wagon.
Yeah, you're in Fandolin with your wagon. Walking around town. Finn, you were staying to the south, I thought, right?
What? No, we entered from the north, did we not?
We entered from the north initially, yes.
So I stayed outside of town 100 feet of the village. I did travel around a little bit while they were there, but I'm back at the north where we need to go back to the north, right?
You're going to be heading north eventually, yes.
Yeah, so that's why I explored while they were in town, but I stayed close to the.
Oh, come on. All right. Well, as you guys are leaving Barthen's Provisions, Lenine is standing there kind of tapping her feet impatiently.
Yes, Lady Greywind?
For you, madam?
Well, I thought you were going to come by before you left
We
Sorry,
did come by.
I got busy. Oh, I mean, oh yeah, go ahead.
We did come by. We just left your place.
That was a few days ago. We
Oh,
made
it's been days?
we made the requisition that you asked for.
Oh, so, hold on. I need to get in the right frame of mind. So this, after our last session, this is days after our last session?
This is days after.
This isn't just right after.
This is not right after.
I will update my notes.
Because there was a requisition made of Lady Greywind for some
Indeed there
assistance
was.
some assistance with tangling with a dragon, especially a dragon
That is true.
who breathes icy frosty death from its face.
Many apologies, Lady Greywind. No, we did not know.
Oh, worry not.
We-
I
lost
was
track of
afraid you'd
time.
already left and we're bailing on our deal, but
No, madam. No, madam. We are here. May
We're
we
headed to
enter?
the burrow as we speak.
We're a little off this evening, as it were. Maybe there was something in the water that we drank this morning, but
I just showed
we'll-
up.
Yeah, we'll get there.
maybe
We'll get
someone
there.
didn't update their notes. It's okay.
That
Okay.
is very possible.
Well, follow me. And she heads back to the coaster. There's a few people hanging around out the front of it. There's not a lot of business today with their merchants exchange. So as she walks in, she just motions you to come to the back, and she says, "Oh, aren't there 3 of you?"
Finn is watching the perimeter of Phandalin. He's afraid of orcs coming in, so
Fair enough.
he is doing his duty.
For once.
Listen, I made a requisition to the family. Seeing as how you're doing us a mighty favor, and we would be remiss if not providing a little bit of insurance and hope that you would be successful. They provided me what they could, so I would hope that this would aid you on your journey as much as possible. And she leads back, and there's this big, like, curtained area, these really tall curtains, and obviously there's a bunch of equipment back behind these curtains. She goes in there, doesn't really open them up where you can see everything. When she walks back out, all she has is this long, thin mahogany case, about 6 inches by 4 inches by 2 inches, not very big at all.
Okay.
She sets it down on the counter in front of her and says, "These are very important heirlooms to my family, as is the sword that you hopefully are able to recover. This should provide you with what you need and with what my family is willing to provide to get this task done." And she opens the case, and there are 3 beautifully crafted rings. They look like they're made of platinum, set with some flecks of sapphire, etched very beautifully, and just the craftsmanship is amazing. I mean, they're stunning rings. She says, "I know it looks," and she kind of looks up at the Loxodon standing in front of her and says, "This may seem like a small trinket to someone of your stature, especially of what you're up against. But trust me when I tell you, this will aid you far greater than any plate of armor or shield or even your own light agility," she looks down at Barrick, "may provide."
Well, I thank you, Lady Greywind. This is what do they do? What is?
Well, she says,
How does it protect us?
and when she picks them up, you can tell that she's gotten them as close as you possibly can, without having seen you before. Just kind of guess to what your finger size may be, but they seem to fit pretty well to the 2 of you. And when you put them on, you feel this warmth kind of course through your body, emanating first from the ring, and then kind of like goes throughout your whole body, and then just kind of settles and then kind of dissipates. But you felt that initial warmth. She says, these will protect you from the beast's breath. So you guys now have these rings of cold resistance, and you now have resistance to all cold damage."
Ooh. Let's see. Ring of.
Barrick tugs on Shield's coat and says,
Barrick.
Do you have fingers?
Yes, I do.
He does.
Aren't you an elephant? Like they don't have fingers.
We
I'm surprised to know you have fingers.
I do have fingers. How I've been moving around. How I tie my shoes, tie my tie. I have a thumb that
Tie
helps.
my tie. So what is it? Ring of resistance?
Ring
Ring
of
of
cold
resistance.
resistance.
I
you
guess
have
this could be
You have
Oh,
resistance
bracelet
against
for
cold
you.
damage, so you're always going to take only half damage from any attack that is cold in nature. So, say you were to make a saving throw against a spell that does cold damage, right? So usually when you
Okay.
make a saving throw, you're only going to take half damage from said spell or said effect. You would even half that damage now with this ring on your person.
Lady
Sweet.
Greywind, we are very appreciative of the help that you've offered us. It's not exactly what I expected, but we will take anything that we can. We are on our way now to. No, please.
I promise it is the absolute most we can provide without hopefully being insulting.
You
So,
you said these were heirlooms. Are you gonna want these back?
We just hope they serve you well.
Okay.
If we die, I apologize. You might have a hard time.
The
If-
risk
in it.
we're
If he
Tis a
dies, I'll
risk we're
see that
willing
you
to
get
take.
it back. Don't you
All right.
worry.
So I grab the rings and let's go head off and let's go.
Rings? Whatever.
Fen.
Give me mine. I'm wearing
I
mine.
give you yours, and I'm holding on to Fenn's. I'm gonna go give it to Fen, and I think
Oh,
I still
yeah.
have 100 gold for Fen also that we got
You'll
from
never
Hart.
see. Hey, he doesn't know that.
So we head out north. Scumberg. Yeah.
I'm on your 6.
Fen, you're out there patrolling like you do, how you do.
Yes.
What have you been doing while these guys were
So
making their
while
last
they
line of
are in
operation?
town, I have been patrolling. I have been foraging. I found some poisonous mushrooms.
Roll a survival check.
Rival. You want
Mhm.
D20 for that?
I do want a D20 for that.
Got 9.
Give him the D.
You have a
9.
plus. That's with your +5. You got a 9.
Yeah, because I only got a 4.
You in your search for some poisonous mushrooms, you don't really come across much like you thought. You were pretty sure this was a good area for it, but in your search, you really only find a couple of real small, not a good cluster of them, not as many as you would like to find. So it's enough to do, to make someone pretty ill, but it wouldn't be enough to kill someone.
Gotcha. So my whole plan with the poisonous mushrooms is to make a mix that I can dip my arrowheads into.
Okay.
Mixed with some fecal matter and other things that I have found to cause increased damage to the enemies when I shoot them.
Okay,
So
so
disgusting.
yeah, no, I mean, and as if you want to go throughout your day, about every 2 hours, you could do another survival check to see if you find even more components for what you're trying to put together.
Okay.
You're also going to have to, at some point, do some either medicine checks or nature checks to, see if you mix this right to do the damage increase or create the certain effect you're looking for. But yeah,
Cool. Yeah, and then, other than that, I've just been kind of hanging out in the front, just waiting for them to
all
get
right.
done with the people in the town.
Your passive perception, you don't even have to think about it. You hear Shield's telltale footsteps and Barrick's telltale chatter as they're walking up the path towards you.
So Shield, I can't believe that we didn't get anything from town. I guess we'll just have to start this excursion without any kind of stuff to go with us. But that's okay. I think we'll be all right. Everyone should be okay.
Fen.
Oh, hi,
Oh,
Finn.
hey, Ben, how's it going? I didn't even see you
Oh,
there.
hey, dirty trash panda.
How you been? How you been?
I think
Ben,
How
we
was
you
your-
have,
How
were
was your
lying
stay
to
outside?
me. I think you were lying to me. I think you
How
got
was your
plenty of
stay
stuff.
outside of town? We
It's
had a
pretty
bed
great.
to sleep.
I had a great
Yeah.
conversation with
Oh yeah, with the trees.
with nature.
Ah,
I am one
with
with nature.
That's cool,
I
man.
thrive in the wilderness as the ranger.
I
I
bet
would
you
think
do.
a raccoon such as
I
yourself
smell I smell some interesting smells on you. You must have been cooking.
Yeah, indeed, I was. I was trying to help aid in our quest by
Oh, yeah?
creating a little special, mix to put on my arrowheads.
Oh, yeah. You could always just hit something, that could be
That's
fun
that's
versus
fun,
having
but
to,
I
taint your
like
arrows
to
with
improvise
additives.
things out in the wild.
Yeah, and miss. You like to improvise and miss. It's cool. Whatever.
Some days you hit, some days you miss.
Yeah. Well,
How'd
you
things
gonna
go
have any
for
of those
you?
hitting days? Oh, good.
They were good.
Yeah,
They-
they were good.
Are you two done?
Oh, I'm good. I could stab him in the back when he walks away, but it's okay.
Ben, here's
You'd
100 gold
miss.
from. Here's 100 gold from the town master.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
We collected from saving Alphonse and checking on his brother. And then this ring is a ring from Lady Greywind that they have had in their family, and that she believes that they can protect us from, or at least help us in our fight against the dragon. And I toss Fen the ring and the bag of coin.
So in my inventory, what do I need to put down to?
So
ring
you're gonna.
of-
It's a ring of It's a ring of resistance, and so this
Your
one
inventory,
happens to
it'll say
be.
cold resistance. Yeah.
Yeah, so you'll look up ring of resistance, and then this features cold resistance because there's options, but this one is against cold.
And she has asked us to go find something that might aid us in freeing the area of Cryovane. She believes that there is a sword that was used to fight off another dragon that was here in the past, and she believes that the sword has been buried, and that if we find it, it can actually help us fight off Cryovane. And she told us where to find it. She wants it back when we're done fighting off the dragon, but we at least have a place where we can go and we can see if anything's there, if the sword exists or not.
All right.
And you did anything?
Yes, I had a conversation, which I think might help. I need to go up mine.
What mine?
The mine.
It's eluding my mind. Might have
It is
ingested a few
it's
mushrooms while
the
you guys were in town.
she called it the Toe Hill Mine.
Toe Hill Mine, there it is. And she wants to get out of town. And wonderful lady, I'm sure you'll like her. Won't have any prejudice against. She's gonna meet us here in just a little bit because I told her we'd be more than happy to accompany her to the mine.
Where do you know where the mine is?
To the north.
To the north. It appears that all of our travels, is it to the north?
It starts to the north, but she didn't really specify exactly where to the north.
All right, I guess we'll wait for it, and then we'll get underway. If we're the place that we are going, we have been told that it's to the north towards Neverwinter, so we'll be headed on the high road north. They said that was the safest place we could go, so maybe we could accomplish both things quickly, and hopefully we can figure out how to get rid of this dragon and maybe move on from Phandalin and get away from this town master and all the machinations of the town here.
I agree.
So it only takes about 15 minutes of you guys chatting and talking before you kind of hear a
Hey, how's it going?
she bows, says, I'm glad to finally be leaving.
Me too.
The Toe
Are
Hill
you-
or the Toe Hill or the
Introduce
mountain
us,
or
Ben.
This is Elephant Man. This is Raccoon Trash Panda guy. No, you know who they are. She's already met us, right? So she knows who we are.
we'll met again. Heroes of Phandalin.
We've met this person before?
She was at the town hall meeting.
When I lit off fireworks, when I had a bad day.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Helia.
Oh,
Oh,
Helia
yeah.
Thorpe.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
So I'm assuming your Fey friend has explained where I need to be taken.
Well, you need to
Like
go
he
to the
was
north
he was
to the
vague.
mine.
He was vague on some of the details. Would you mind letting us know what's going on?
Oh,
Telling us
absolutely.
again?
No, we're all we have to do is head a little north out of Fandolin, and then we're going to continue northeast, just a little bit up the Tribor Trail. The mine has been well hidden, but it's on the mountain's toe. We call it the Toe Hill Mine. But the mountain's toe, which is just barely on the edge, I'll point out here. She's got this little scrap piece of paper that she pulls out and draws a little sketch to where this lies. It's just right here at the edge of the right at the base of the hilly part of the mountains.
And you plan on staying there? You just need escort to the mine?
Listen, full disclosure, there are some of my companions there, and I just wish for them to hear from people more than me that Fandolin is safe enough, and that they're a little, oh, how do I say, they're a little untrusting, and have not they themselves left the mine in quite some time.
They are mistrusting of people in general, or
They're
of the current
mistrusting of people in
administration?
general. The mine, we feel the mine will be very lucrative. We don't wish to share it with anybody else. And
Oh,
I don't know that if the location were disclosed, that we would be safe.
I understand.
I don't. What?
Discretion is key here. Is all I'm trying to say.
It appears,
Which
Barrett.
means payment goes up.
Not for you.
We can discuss the payment once we talk with
What
the lead.
what exactly is in this mine?
Well, there's a lot of gold to be had.
That you don't want to share with anybody.
Listen, the people of Fandolin are fools,
No,
and
I get that. I get
and
that.
and they would try to lay claim for Neverwinter.
Hmm.
It
And
just
that's all
doesn't.
we're getting ourselves into. We're just
Listen, it
just
doesn't.
taking
It just.
it there.
That's all I just wish to go there not alone. Maybe have someone vouch for me that in fact Fandolin continues to be riding the coattails of Neverwinter, and that I wish to essentially defect without any malice. I just wish to reside with them in the mine.
Hmm.
Like I said, not a big deal. Accompany her up there, make sure she's safe. Then we'll be on our way.
I'm gonna roll a perception to see if I can discern anything from her um
Yeah.
demeanor,
Demeanor?
face. Her
Gotcha.
yeah, just I have. Let's see.
Are
I
you
have
just
a
checking her out?
no. I have a.
Trying to read her.
Let me hang on just a second. Hang on just a second. So I have a proficiency bonus.
Yeah. So you have
for
a
my
total of +6 to that.
yeah. So for my investigation and perception because I want to see just if I can discern anything that she's doing. And that oh nice, I discern that she is a woman most likely because I rolled a 2.
Well
2
done.
plus 6. Yeah. She might be a biped. I don't know. She might have another leg under her dress. I'm unclear.
From what you can tell, there's a level of agitation to her. In other words, it feels pretty genuine that she's just absolutely fed up with Fandolin. It seems like they don't seem to have the people's better interest at heart. They don't really seem to be worried about threats they should be worried about. They just seem pretty foolish in general, and she's pretty much had it with them.
That tracks.
So her annoyance and her demeanor just is she's had it.
So it seems best that if we take you to the mine first before we head off to the burrow and search for our other prize. So
Indeed.
I would appreciate it. If anything, I don't want to have to face off a band of orcs myself.
Do you have a trunk or Anything that you're gonna take with
she
you?
just has a pack on. She's a pretty hardy woman. She's not dainty at all. She doesn't act like a noble or any kind of foppish manner. She's wearing very common clothes, but obviously well fit and looks like she can handle herself. She just recognizes that with what's going on out and about, with dragons about, with orcs about, everybody's kind of on edge. She just doesn't want to chance the trip alone.
Okay.
I'll start driving the carriage. Finn, shall you keep a watch? Make sure we don't run into any boars.
Sounds good to me. I'll keep pace through the woods.
All right.
Over the river and through the woods.
We're not going through the woods, are we?
No.
Okay. Whew.
Not yet.
No, you're just gonna you'll just head north out of Phandalin, get on the Triber Trail, head that way to reach the toe of the mountain. The day goes pretty well. In fact, it's a nice sunny day. We're getting closer to fall, but there's not as much of a nip in the air quite yet. As not quite into winter, but it's kind of a nice dusky sunlight instead of a beating down sunlight. It's not just exhausting kind of weather. So it's pretty pleasant. She kind of keeps to herself. She looks like she's pretty determined just to be there. She doesn't really seem to have any inclination to look back or to worry or even make much conversation. She's pretty quiet, but the day goes pretty uneventfully as you make your way towards that mine.
Barrick is going to try to get not like close to her, but just start to walk with her and just strike conversation. Halia, how goes your journey? Do you need anything?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm glad to be out of that stupid, unfortunate, and miserable place. I don't know how to tell you how unfortunate it is and how disappointed I am and how things have kind of evolved for that little village. I think there was quite a bit of opportunity for things to go a lot better, but I have to say, I kind of feel like they're going to succumb to this beast and its machinations, and this land's cursed, if you ask me.
Not having been
It's a little
in
doomed.
that town long and being a traveler, obviously, what is some of the history of Phandalin that you know of that leads you to believe that?
Well, Phandalin itself began as just nothing more than a bunch of good, hardworking folk trying to carve out an existence in the wilderness. We knew that there was treasure to be had in these mountains. We knew there was gold to be had, and we could potentially create something great. I'm not sure. It was before my time. How the nobles of Neverwinter ended up sending their little garrison of politicians, but it doesn't feel like anybody who was an original founder of the town seemed to fight Harbin off like they could have. And what I mean by fight, I'm not meaning with sword or shield. You understand? I mean simply with holding our ground to who we are. Even Tolbin, who is not Tolbin, but I forgot his name already.
Harbin? Elmer?
Even no, not Harbin. Even
Gary
Bond.
Gooney?
this is embarrassing.
No, Moltar.
Just take your time,
Moltar.
Halia.
I
Well, it is
understand.
Tolbin. It is
Nobody in
Tolbin.
that
I said
town,
it right
their
the first time.
names are
I'm
important too.
I'm so exasperated by what's happening. I said his name right the first. Tolbin. He's the innkeep. The inn's been there for as long as anybody can remember. He seemed to just kind of rolled over and allowed Harbin to do what he wishes. Nobody's rising up to take control of our village. They're just letting it be what Neverwinter wants it to be.
And you're saying that Harbin has a piece in that?
Oh, Harbin will get his cut. Obviously, if he makes the whole area part of a supply chain or line of riches and resources back to Neverwinter, the nobles benefit and he benefits. He's not from this area. He's born and raised in a palace of Neverwinter.
We came across his brother in some of our travels who who spoke somewhat, I guess, not ill of his brother, but the same kind of musings as you have, and I wonder if the town be better served if Harbin were to retire.
It would not hurt anybody's feelings if Harbin retired. His brother, in fact, was not raised with the rest of them. He, as a young man, left and was kind of a man of the land. In fact, I'm pretty sure that he ran around with Alphonse for quite some time, possibly even with Falcon. At the time of their prime, they seem to be better men, but I don't know if it's age or greed or what that seems to have everybody holding the quid pro quo, as it were.
What else can you tell me about the people of the town that,
Well,
again, that I'm not familiar with?
I'm sure you've heard of Fandelver.
No, have I?
Well,
I'm pretty sure.
Fandelver is a storied mine in these areas that the dwarves themselves had initially excavated. Riches beyond everybody's wildest dream. Blah blah blah. But turns out it wasn't exactly what everyone was thinking. But a little bit of gold is to be had in these hills, and so the town itself is more or less. I'm not going to say outlaws, but it's just people trying to eke out an existence. And I fear that Harbin is his interest is more in what he gets out of it in the long run versus the better or the greater good of Phandalin itself.
If I could shift gears, at the Toe Hill mine, who can we expect to find?
Well, Raskin is the foreman right now. Him and his compatriots are there doing the best they can to again to just make a living, possibly even stay there permanently if they can find the gumption to maybe even use it as a base of operations or a place to continue their own lives. And, maybe have to head into Phandalin now and then for provisions and whatnot, but ultimately they could survive there indefinitely.
Is the mine supplied by water or anything of the like, or would they rely solely on Phandalin for
They
rations?
would need Phandalin for provisions. If the location stays discreet, though, no one there needs to know exactly where these travelers come from, if that makes any sense. Granted, they may become somewhat part of the local fair, coming into town, every few months now and then for things they can't provide themselves. But these are hardy folk who can make a living for themselves out here. And I mean, they're working the earth. They're nigh unto dwarves.
It's not going to be hard for Elmar to sell a few pickaxes to understand that there's a mining project going on somewhere.
That is where the miners exchange comes in.
That's you.
That is me. That is very true. So I've left
But you're leaving.
I've left a few apprentices there who are there because there's would-be prospectors coming in and out of Phandalin all the time. Who else to provide all the would-be prospectors with decent tools and provide us with effective tools to eke out our existence? It may seem a little unfair, but buyer beware. There's no guarantee that, of survival out here beyond your own wit and your own gumption. If they choose to buy our less than quality materials, that's their choice. That's for them to recognize. But Barthen will be none the wiser as the as those that wish to be prospectors come in and out of the town. Meanwhile, we'll continue to stay well supplied because the miners' exchange is willing to provide us, well, what I tell them to provide us.
I'm all for each to his own and survival by your own means, but it seems like when you have the ability to do some good, you ought to.
I tried. I did try.
Not to change the subject, but just because I like knowing what I'm getting into.
Mhm.
About how many people can we expect, and are they friendly to a taxibi, a tabaxi like myself, and a luxodon like my friend, and even an elf? Because some people don't like elves. Will we be well received?
These are hardworking folk, a couple of handfuls of hardworking folk who just wish to mind their own business and do their own work. They're also a very non-judgmental group, as you'll soon find out.
Okay. Barrick thanks Halia for the conversation, hands her a piece of ration. Here's, something I was snacking on. This is pretty good. Snack on this. And scurries over to the wagon and
She looks
That
at your
would be a
partially
raccoon to
piece of
give
jerky.
someone part of your food.
She looks.
There you go.
She looks down at your partially
Eat this.
gnawed piece of rawhide jerky. Thanks.
wasn't partially not. I ripped a piece off for her. I'm not a
Right.
raccoon. I'm a tabaxi.
Yeah,
that
but
knows
Just
how
gave
to-
her the
Don't you have to
rancid
soak your
part.
food in something before you chew? You don't have saliva glands, do you?
Tabaxis?
Finn, how
Yeah, they
close are
do.
you? Finn, how close are you to the wagon?
I came in over to check on the wagon, see how things were going, and I overheard the last little bit of the conversation and a treat.
You can't be forward scouting and also with the wagon. You can't exist places.
Gotta check in, right? Gotta check in with people.
It's okay to be up where you were. You don't have to be back there.
I came back to check in.
Nice.
Nothing to report up there. Going on, nothing crazy.
You're
No boar track at all.
Nope, didn't see anything.
roll perception.
I got 14.
Yeah, usually nothing. You are very confident there be nothing out there.
All right.
You
I
doubt
just
my
keep
ranger
driving.
skills?
No, I don't doubt your skills. I asked because you were up there. I trust you.
Yeah, no issues yet, but I think we're almost there. Maybe. I'm not really sure where this hidden mine is, so she would be able to tell us more how much
You're
further.
not far away. Yeah, she said it's all a couple more rises and we'll be there in short order.
All right. I just keep driving.
The it's not quite evening. There's no like strangeness happening on the road. Nobody gets any whiff of orc or campfire or anything like that. And eventually you all end up at the base of the hills. There is a cave opening.
Ooh.
Cave. A cave. I love
Yeah.
the cave.
She kind of stops you and says, "Now listen, like I said before, these are hardy folk, hardworking, honest people. They're not judgmental because they wish not to be judged."
What's wrong with them?
Okay.
And she heads up towards the entrance of the mine.
Barrick's
so
gonna walk forward.
She says,
I pull out both my
She-
short
she
swords.
kind
I'm
of
ready.
hollers into the cave. She says, "I'm here. It's me." The there's a little bit of some rustling from out of the cave and eventually some chatter happens. You kind of hear some whispering. She kind of glances back at you guys and whispers back, and then eventually you hear a kind of a come in, and she enters the cave.
Do we
I-
go in, Shield?
I guess we follow into the cave.
Are you? No. Wait.
I step through the threshold of the cave.
Okay.
This can only end in tears.
Entering the cave, you see her standing there talking to someone who's a little shrouded. As they're wearing they're wearing well-worn clothing. It's not rags or by any means, but it's obviously covered in soot and not soot, but dust and grime from digging and mining and all the things that go with running and working in a mine. Everybody roll perception.
They called it a mine.
At 15.
I got a 6.
I got a 21.
Okay. So just because of like the kind of the cramped space shield, you're not exactly totally clued in, but Finn and Barrick, you cannot help but notice that the snout sticking out from under this hooded figure's cloak has a twitchy little movement to it, some long whiskers, and there's kind of a hunched over nature and gait to it as it kind of shifts and moves around. And Barrick, with your 21, you kind of hear every once in a while a little chittery kind of ilk to its voice.
So I'm gonna pause
Mole
right here and
people.
just give a side note. Like, I seriously was gonna ask Halia if we were meeting humans. I was gonna ask if there were humans on our way, but I didn't for some reason. That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
That would have been some good perception.
That would have been great perception. These are some mole people.
Shall we enter, Halia?
Oh, she says, "Come in, come in."
All right. So Shield walks in. His eyes are not well adjusted, so he can't see anything.
Yeah, you're not really telling what's going on. But do the rest of you come in?
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out just kind of by the. Hi, everybody. Hi,
So-
Dr. Nick.
Upon entering, it's very clear and very obvious that what you're looking at is a very humanoid-like rat or a rat-like humanoid. A couple of them. There's no malice or move to attack or any kind of threatening posture to them at all. They're just talking with her pretty casually and pretty normally. The other one standing behind you, just standing there doing his duty, being a guard, not really saying much, just kind of watching you with some beady, shifty eyes. But the other one just converses and eventually kind of nods his head and says, "So you wish to see Raskin?" She says, "Well, yeah, I that's why I'm here. I think it's time for me to be here permanently." He says, "Well, just wait 1 minute." And then he goes through a door and just leaves for a little bit. The other guard just stands there staring at you, waiting to see what's gonna happen.
Halia, Barrick here. How are you?
Hi.
We talked on the road.
Oh, I think we've been, yeah.
Yeah. Did you forget to tell us anything? Just asking in general.
Forget?
Anything we should know?
Nothing I can forget. I was very honest when I said that these are non-judgmental people who wish not to be
Yeah.
judged.
Hey, you said people, but that's cool. I mean, tomato, people.
As much people as you are, my friend.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm just
Was the cave entrance hidden at all?
From what you could tell, it didn't seem hidden. She walked right up to it. It seemed really open. Like there wasn't it didn't seem very hidden at all.
Oh yeah, for something that you all want to keep secret into yourselves, it seems. I mean, the cave entrance wasn't hidden very well. I mean, isn't that something you would want to do if you want to keep this hidden?
She chuckles a little bit. She says, "Me accompanying you, you didn't see the illusion."
I knew it was. I have like a perception coming out my ears. I knew it was a magical enchantment. I don't need to roll anymore. These dice mean nothing to me. I have it all.
You got this figured out, huh?
I've got all the perception.
You got it.
I am Barrick. Ooh.
Walking in my sphere of influence, the illusion was not apparent to your eyes. But if you were to walk back out that cave, you turn around and you'd be faced with what looked like a cliff wall.
Was it an illusion you created?
I don't create it, but I have a ring that allows me to dispel it as I walk closer to the entrance itself. Plus, I know
Okay.
where it is.
Is she a rat person?
Roll perception.
16.
You're pretty sure she might be, but there's no way of knowing for sure. Her level of comfort and her mannerisms don't really, it's not like all of a sudden you realize, oh, she does seem very rat-like. It just her level of comfort is, even if she was, she, this is not unfamiliar to her.
Huh.
So hell yeah! Now that
Uh,
we've escorted you to the cave, what else can we do? Is this all you needed us for, or?
Well, we arrived with no incident. I mean, if you wish to take your leave, you very much can. If you'll wait 1 minute, Raskin should be out in just a moment. I just need you to vouch for me.
Okay.
Couple more minutes pass by. Possibly in uncomfortable silence if nobody else says anything.
Ben, you're oddly quiet.
Well, everything looks fine to me. Guess we'll wait for her friend to come. Vouch for her? Maybe.
Do you want some jerky?
I mean, the name Raskin. Do you want
Oh,
some-
stop it. Don't try to get on this perception train now.
No, the name Raskin. It just seems a little on the nose, knowing now what we know.
No pun intended.
Oh, on the nose.
Hey. So the first guard comes
Bill
walking out.
walks outside. He's
The first
embarrassed.
guard comes walking through the door of the cave, and then he's followed by another rat person, were-rat creature who is dressed in the finest red robes, who has these beautifully well-crafted leather boots that just shine and glint in a little bit of sunlight that they catch, a green velvet shirt, a very long rapier / walking stick that he uses as he comes, and he steps in and he takes a stance and he says, "What do we have here, Halia?" He turns to him, kind of bows, and says, "Raskin, I am so glad that you walked out to meet me. I wish to stay. I don't wish to return to Phandalin." He looks at the guards, he looks at her, and he looks at you and says, "Well, who do we have here? Who's with you?"
I look to Finn since this is his.
Hi, my name's Finn.
Hello,
These are
Finn.
my traveling companions. We are here to save the world. We are mighty adventurers.
That is a
and-
lofty ideal, my friend. I am Don John Raskin. Pleasure
Don
to
John
meet your
Raskin?
acquaintance.
I once knew a man, Don Johnson. No, that's a
Don
different
Johnson.
story for another time. But
I think I've heard of his vices.
he's pretty famous. He's a really good. But yeah, no, we're here to kind of vouch for our friend here, and in the hopes that she can escape that horrible city. It is really a horrible city. No one should have to live.
So you're telling me, he turns to Halia, you're telling me you're turning your back on Phandalin entirely. You wish no longer to stay there. She says, absolutely not. I've had enough. I just want to be here. I want to be who I am. I can no longer keep up the ruse. I've got a couple of apprentices there who will provide us with the materials we need to keep our operation up and running. I can't handle it anymore. Neverwinter has its claws deep in the town master. He is a useless, semi-noble man-child who I have no use for, and honestly don't seem to be making any headway in getting anybody else, or I can find anybody that is worth bringing here in the first place to possibly join our ranks. Although these companions have proven themselves pretty useful for the area. They, from what I understand, they've already faced the creature that seems to be vexing all of us. He perks up real quick and says, "Is that a fact? You've met the lizard?"
Indeed, we have,
Dragon.
and we came out on top. Scared the dragon away. Flew
You
away.
scared him away.
We did.
He was afraid of
flew
you.
off and was like, "I don't want to mess with you three." That's a true story.
Mighty warriors you are indeed. Then, if you were able to scare off a dragon.
I mean, granted, the raccoon didn't really do much of anything, but
Mhm.
it's about the case for their look back through history. But my friend here, Shield, took a full blast and lived to tell the tale.
That is most impressive. I honor you. You honor me by being here. You must dine with us. You must come and meet my family. See what we're doing here. I am more than thrilled to have the heroes of Phandalin in my presence.
We'd love to. Although we only have one dietary request, and that's for Barrick. He only eats trash. So as long as you have some old trash for him to eat, everything will be good.
You are a good-humored fellow, my pointy-eared friend. I like you a lot. I do. I like you a lot. But I would be honored if you would join us. Come to my table. It is, in
Excellent.
fact, dinner time.
We will be there.
He turns with a flourish after kind of glancing at everybody and checking everyone out, and he says, "Come, Halia, we have much to discuss." And he goes into back behind the door. Halia follows him.
I would like to use my divine sense,
Okay.
and I just want to know if there's any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of me.
There are not.
All right. Then I am going to follow. I will follow behind Finn and Barrick.
I'm trying to go through the door. It's not happening.
Okay. That's gonna happen right now. This is the thing. This is the time.
It's a
The
booby
time.
trap. It's a rat trap. We got the
Hold
rat
on.
pack.
This is not.
Rats.
This is not the tool I was looking for. Okay.
I got a tool for you.
Gross. Okay, you enter the passageway. Helia is just coming around this bend, kind of waiting for you because she obviously knows that you don't really know where you're headed. But she motions for you to come down to this direction, and there's another little stone door there, and she pushes through. Come on.
I'm the great stone mason, stone dragon.
And the room that you enter is pretty off-putting. In fact, to the point, everybody give me a Constitution save.
I'm gonna throw up. Are those corpses? What happened? My dice got stuck.
I rolled a 6.
I rolled a 19. Constitution?
Mm-hmm.
Is this based on smell?
At 20.
It is based on smell.
19 plus 0. I got old 19.
Okay.
Oh, so I have keen smell, so I have advantage on wisdom, perception, survival, investigation checks that involve smell. But you said Constitution, so I'd probably.
Yeah, it's Constitution. Your trunk, unfortunately, inhales one of the most putrid, pungent, foul, dankest stenches it has smelled in a very long time. There is offal and debris strewn throughout the cavern floor. There are other were rats kind of digging through these things. It's obviously the place where they dine and feast, and it does look like off in a couple of corners where they also seem to relieve themselves. But this is in fact the main hall of Don John Raskin and his part of his brood. Helia does not seem at all the least bit perturbed by any of it. What did you roll, Finn?
I had a 20. 19
Okay,
plus 1.
so yeah, you're you just kind of naturally kind of bolster yourself before you walked in, kind of getting a sense of things, and then there's a little bit of kind of your more feral nature coming through here, Barrick, as you enter, recognizing that this is a place for feeding and breeding and whatnot, and that those more animalistic kind of urges are very evident here. There's that musky smell as well. Raskin is proud, like he's as proud as he could possibly be, to have you in here. And he says, you must absolutely stay with us. He goes off into a corner, and kind of snaps his fingers and gets other people to kind of bustle and hustle around. They go off in different directions, and after a time come back with not really plates, but cloth full of pretty decent looking food. Actually, there's nothing that they kind of recognize that you're not going to want to dig in hand and mouth into what they're eating, but they do have some baked
Oh,
bread.
Eric's not gonna eat any of that. He would like to eat some trash.
There's some meat there's trash all around. I mean, there is, there's a few ratlings, if it as it were, kind of rifling through the materials all over the ground, and they start to eat.
Can I, after I throw up and wipe my my mouth, can I make a perception check and see what they're eating? Like, what type of animals are there humans in the mix?
Sure you can.
That is a 11 plus 0.
It tastes like duck.
No, I want to see what they are eating.
Yeah, what they're eating. Yeah, okay. So what they're
Oh.
eating looks like
I'm not
duck.
tasting it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're eating. I mean, some of the things that they're eating, you're given as well, but kind of in a more presentable manner. Hallie is kind
Gotcha.
of guiding, that presentation, so it's not so repulsive and it's clean. And you're not being handed stuff full of maggots or or garbage necessarily, or mold. But I mean, the meat is it's smaller bites, and it's a little not stringy, but it has a different texture to it.
Do we know what type of creatures they are?
You have
Like you
never
keep saying
seen.
you keep saying were rats. Do we know that they're were rats?
Yeah, you've never met a were rat, so you don't know what a were rat is. But
I can tell you for
that I
sure
mean,
they're were rats. 300 years. I've met a few. I can tell you for sure.
for sure, yeah. These are definitely.
What is a were rat? What is a were rat?
So a
I
were
mean,
rat
do
is a
they turn into human?
lycanthrope. They're a lycanthrope. They can take, well, they have this form that they can hold. Some of them choose to stay, in certain forms or another, but essentially, and this is to Finn's knowledge, there's a group of beings who choose to either, not get the curse removed, and they just live with it and use its benefits to their benefit, and don't seem pulsed or worried about getting it removed. And this seems to be one of those groups.
All right. Shield is nauseous in the corner. So
Okay. Uh, Raskin comes over and says, "I apologize, my large friend. We do our best to make this place as presentable as possible to those who may visit us, but
it's okay. My
I
nose
mean
is so long. I can
we
smell
mean
things
no
from
offense.
like a mile away.
We mean no
It's not
offense.
you. It's me. It's okay. I just need to sit down. I roll up my
Well,
trunk
we're
so I
glad
can't
you're
smell
here.
anything more.
I only have a few questions, as we eat, if you don't mind."
Oh, please.
Well, from what Hallie
Sure.
has told me, Phandalin is a lost cause. It's run by bureaucrats and does not seem to have the people's best interest at heart. This saddens me. This saddens me greatly. And while it may be the case, and it's probably the truth, I do trust her. I do wish to hear it from you. Seem like honest fellows. Is Phandalin in fact lost?
If you ask me, I'd say for sure the leadership is horrible. Tried to throw me in jail. I didn't do anything wrong, and they were about to kill me, and if all
Those
for nothing.
rapscallions.
We are being honest here, Fed. We are being honest with our host.
I am honest. Right? I might have shot a gnome, but he deserved it. They were horrible to us.
Gnomes.
And
Honesty is hard for.
I can
I mean,
understand.
I shot him, but I
understand
had the
shooting
full
him.
intent to heal him. But before couldn't follow through with my plan because
It just sounds like a prank that went awry, if you ask me.
yeah, I mean, I wanted to teach him a lesson because they shot at me, so I'm shooting them and letting them know that we don't appreciate it, even if they got a crazy old lady, you know, and nothing ever
Pretentious
happens.
little creatures, anyway, aren't they? Acting like they know so much about the
I
world.
know they should all be, but um, you know, I don't really like the leadership. They're not very helpful for sure. We could definitely use somebody else in charge, but I don't know how that's going to happen without some other people dying.
Well, even I'm assuming that even if Harbin were to retire or die, or whatever the case may be lost to the dragon, as it were, Neverwinter has already got its foothold there. They've kind of staked their claim as it being a little fiefdom, as it were, of their kingdom. I don't imagine it will lose their attention anytime soon, especially with old Cryovane kicking around.
Yeah, they're definitely scared of the dragon for sure.
As well, they should be.
I think hopefully we can take care of that. That's our
Well,
goal, anyways.
you're going to attempt a dispatch of it.
Eventually,
You're going to tangle with it again.
if nothing else, we'll sacrifice the raccoon. And no, we wouldn't do that. He's a valuable
looks over to
member
Barrick,
of our group.
kind of looking for like an affirming laugh. What are you laughing, Barrick?
No, I'm not.
He looks quizzically and looks back at Finn and continues to laugh. You're a delightful fellow. My point to your friend. Well, listen, I'm glad to hear that. Well, I'm not glad to hear that what Dahlia's telling me is true, but I'm glad to at least know that her wishes to join us are verified and valid. And it is unfortunate, although it sounds like she's um, made it a little easier for us to continue our operations by using that as at least a supply chain for now.
Why would you not trust the word of Talia? I mean, we're outsiders here. You would trust our word over hers.
Talia and I have a history. Less left unspoken in
Bad
present
breakup?
company.
Is that what it is? You guys dated, didn't you?
We just she has her own desires and her own goals that what can I say? Those who wish to be part of my little band would pretty much say or do anything required. And so it's nice to hear that that it's not just solely from her. Not that I don't trust you, dear. And she kind of gives him kind of a dirty look, but so as it were, if you wish, you may stay in the in our den tonight. You can leave first thing in the morning. Although there is going to be a little bit of a ceremony a little bit later after dinner. He glances over at Tally and she nods and he smiles, kind of a weird toothy smile, and I, I don't think you should miss it.
I would like to make a perception check to see
Okay.
if this is a bad ceremony. What type of ceremony is this?
It is an
6.
initiation.
I think my dice is broken.
I'll roll a
Nice.
perception.
Okay.
What's that? Oh, I got a 2 plus. I got 7.
We are going to get sacrificed, and we're not even going to know it.
You know, well, I appreciate your invitation. It is. I think Barrick would love to stay here, and Ben and I have some business that we need to go do outside for a little bit, and but we'll leave you here, and Barrick will help you. And
He
we'd
walks
love-
up. He walks up to Tally and says, "Well, tell them, dear. It will be quite a beautiful thing, will it not?" And she smiles. She smiles a very sincere smile and says, I hope that it will. I look forward to it myself." She says, I would love for you to be here for it, although I understand that not all may have the stomach for it. But it is an initiation, my friends, and it's a beautiful one.
Beautiful one. I've been to initiations where people beat each other up. Is that what kind of initiation this is, or?
I think you're mixing that with hazing.
Oh, maybe. Maybe. All right.
All
Well,
right,
you
then
talked us into it. I guess we'll
let's
stay and
stay.
watch.
So you're going to stay.
We
How
wouldn't
could we
miss
deny
it.
you the hospitality?
Well, I am truly grateful. If you wish, I'll have my guard lead you to your temporary quarters, and within the hour, we'll make you aware that preparations are done, and it'll be right here that where it takes place. The guard.
In the dining hall. Got it.
So the guard nods at you, kind of motions for you to follow, and he starts heading back up out of the cavern, and then takes a turn further north.
I'm gonna follow.
You're gonna follow as soon as the light decides to shine.
Come on, roll 20. You can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah. Barrick, is Barrick following?
I'm actually hanging back for a sec, so you guys can go ahead and go to your rooms.
Okay.
Okay, so he leads you up.
Never trust.
So I asked the guard as he's going through the door. So I said, "So exciting initiation tonight, huh?" Anything? Do we need to dress differently? Anything an outsider should be prepared for?
No, you're
I don't
fine.
want to. I don't want to do any. I don't want to make any faux pas or offend anyone if I don't stand up at the right time or if I don't clap at the right time.
There's no
I
way
would
you're
like
gonna
to
be.
make a. I would like to make a perception check to see if this person is going to eat me tonight.
Okay.
I'm going to use a different die this time. Oh, that's a 3. I am convinced.
19.
Neither one of you feel like this person is going to eat you.
Oh, I see what you did there.
He says, nothing will prepare you. Nothing prepares you for it. We'll see you in about an hour. And he leaves.
Ben.
After he leaves, I.
He says, take whichever cot you wish.
Okay. So I'm going to coat the edge. Aids.
Okay.
My 2 short swords. Do you want me to roll for what to roll?
Well, did you roll again to find mushrooms on the
No,
rest
so
of your
I
tunic?
hadn't used anything yet because I just prepared it and put it in.
Okay. No, you just roll a survival.
Got an 11.
Got an 11. The measly little mushroom that you find, you're able to get one good arrow. The others,
I'm coating my short sword.
Oh, your short swords. Okay. So yeah, you get a decent covering on one edge of the blade, so you've got along the full length of one edge. You feel like you were able to get it covered fairly well. It does seem like just from the way that it dries, that it does look like that first blow with it is definitely gonna leave some of this behind on whoever you slash or stab with it. It'll probably kind of wear off for the most part. The metal's not porous, so it doesn't necessarily absorb it, but it's definitely prepped for an attack. When you hit with this, whatever you hit is going to take one extra hit, one extra damage die or 1d4 of poison damage.
Cool.
Ben, your
Sounds good.
sword smelled terrible.
That's right. I put them back in their sheaths. Can't smell them anymore, can you?
Do you think putting them back in their sheath will just wipe off all that stuff you spread on it?
Nope. I'm putting it back in there because I intend to put it on for every battle.
The way he puts it in, the way it glides into his sheath, it doesn't knock it off. But I mean,
Shield ties his trunk into a knot so he stops smelling things.
You can tie things? How do you tie things without fingers?
All right, Finn, are you gonna pick a cot?
I know. I'm just gonna kind of hang out outside here.
Okay. Okay. Barrick, what are you up
Can I-
to?
So before I retire, I just thank the two of them for their hospitality and remind Talia of a payment that we had spoken about for services rendered.
Of course. You will not leave empty-handed.
Oh, great. All the foreshadowing. Stop it. You will not leave.
In fact, if you wish to take your payment now, I can have them go retrieve that. You've got me
It's
here. You've done your duty.
that would be acceptable. Thank
Okay.
you, Talia, and I look forward to your rat ceremony.
Thank you. Did you say rat ceremony to her?
No, that would be rude. And I said I'm not going to be rude because I'm guessing she's making the change, right? So we get to see her make the change.
This is
No, she already is one. They're gonna
Well, but
change
she has
us. We're
no.
the
She's gonna shed her human form, and we're gonna see
They
it.
can switch back and forth if they're a were rat.
Well, yeah, but she's staying, so she has to leave her intent. You're in another room. I can't speak to you right now.
Fine.
all right.
Bond is so strong. You get.
She nods over to Raskin. Raskin snaps his fingers. One of the guards takes off back into a back room. He's gone for a couple minutes. When he comes back out, he's got a little chest, pretty heavy. You can tell there's got a lot of weight to it. And he comes up and he flips it open. Raskin grabs a couple of gold coins. He says, "How about I kick in a little extra for bringing Talia safely to me? How about we load you up with about 250?"
That sounds very acceptable.
Well, I'm glad. I'm so glad I can add to the coffers of the heroes of Phandalin.
We appreciate that. Hero might be a big word, but we do our best.
It's a big
I'm
word
sitting
indeed.
in the back. I have this just dreadful feeling in. You know, Shield, we left that greedy little raccoon on there, and if he collects our reward, do you think we'll actually see any of it?
You can't be everywhere at once.
Can we call this campaign the Mistrusting Trio?
I'm
like
not
a mouthful.
mistrusting.
I mean,
Um,
I could never trust him. I don't think, right? I mean, do you trust him?
Raskin,
Yes, sir.
you've got quite a place here.
Thank you.
How long has
Thank
it
you.
been since this mine has been functioning?
Oh, we've been functioning here nearly 3 years.
Nearly 3. And is gold the only thing that exists here?
Well, gold seems to be the only thing worth digging for, if that's what you mean.
Oh, I was just curious. This is only the second mine I've been in, and the first one was run by dwarves, and it didn't have anything in it. So,
I know, I see what you mean. Yeah, and I would hope that I can trust you enough to assure your discretion.
oh, absolutely, Raskin. I have no need for giving away other people's things. You earned this. You did it. I have no reason to let others know that you exist here. There would be nothing in it for me. Plus, I believe that creatures can exist on their own and do good things. You are a very well dressed miner. Did you fashion that clothing and garb yourself?
Did I fashion it? I am not a tailor nor a seamstress, good fellow. But no, I have always liked the finer things in life.
Well,
Clothes
maybe
do
at
make a
one
man.
time you could give me a tour. Maybe after the ceremony later, we could see the mine if that's something that's
Oh,
acceptable to you.
absolutely. I would love to show you our operation. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. About how many people do you have working here? People.
There's a couple handfuls of us.
Good, good. Well, Raskin, I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing what's to come. To seeing this ceremony.
Well, good. Off with you. I'm gonna go make my preparations.
Excellent. I'm gonna turn my attention to Talia. Talia, if I may have but a moment before you go get ready.
Absolutely.
Are these other two within earshot?
Yeah, you'd have to kind of be whispery if you're wanting to be discreet.
Talia, just as I lower my voice to hopefully get her to understand, not to understand, but to just kind of lean in.
Mm-hmm.
Is
She
this
leans in, recognizing you're trying to be, yeah.
is
discreet.
this what you want?
This is everything I want.
And you're ready to turn your back on Phandalin?
Absolutely. You've been there. You've seen it.
I have, but I also know that change
I can carve out a more honest living here than I ever could there.
I definitely understand that, but I also understand that sometimes the choices we make lead us down paths that doors close behind and the water goes under the bridge and you can't
Listen,
jump in the
I've known
same
Raskin.
river twice.
Yeah, I appreciate your concern. I've known Raskin nigh on a decade now. I know I've known who he is and what he is for a very long time. I think it's just time for me to really face the fact that I think I am actually more fit for this life than I am for living amongst the people that talk out of both sides of their mouth. At least here we know who we are, we know who each other are, we know what's expected. There's an order to it, and there's some comfort in that.
I did get a sense of maybe some history with Raskin. Is everything going to be okay there? I understand that I'm asking many personal questions that might not behoove my standing with you as
I
just
am
a
more
traveling
than
companion.
I'm more. No, I worry not. You do not offend me. There definitely is a history. I may have more an eye for him than I wish to admit, but what can I say? He is quite the character, would you not say?
Yep, he's the character.
He's a
He's the character.
he's an honest, hardworking, charismatic. What can I say? The man has his appeal.
You don't need to say anything to me. I look the way I look.
What?
There was another question I was going to ask. I can't
There,
remember what it was now.
listen, I appreciate where you're coming from. This is a different form of being than even what you know. You are who you are.
I remember my question.
There's yes. Go ahead.
No, is there anything that you'd like us to take back to Phandalin about you? People are going to ask. They're going to want to know where you are. If you're gonna let this ruse play out that you are no longer a part of Phandalin, is there some type of message you want to send back that you got
No one
lost?
would be
that
surprised.
you were
if-
eaten by a boar, or
No one would be surprised if you simply told them we parted ways. I eventually got off on my own and just decided to head my own direction.
okay. Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for all of it.
And thank you.
I will go try to find my companions.
Okay.
I think they went this way. Fen, how are you?
Oh, hey, how's it going?
It's
Oh,
good.
hi,
Are we sleeping in here?
I don't think we're
And
sleeping.
if you want, but they're gonna come get us here. Ceremony. How'd
Okay.
things go after we left?
Good. Yeah.
Did you chance to talk to anybody or?
I did have a chance to talk, and yes, we did get paid for our services rendered in getting Talia here.
Excellent. How much did we get paid?
250 gold.
Each? Dang. Yeah.
No.
Oh.
No.
What?
No, not each. Not each. Just as a payment for the three of us. Glad you're happy.
Ben, you know a lot about were rats,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
You've been
Sure.
alive for 300 years. I think you've told us that once. Is there anything in their history about rituals or ceremony or sacrifices or the need to consume the flesh of men?
Roll
Let me pull-
roll a knowledge history. History. Well, yeah, it's essentially just roll your history.
I got 8.
Oh my gosh, what is with us? We can't roll.
It's a little fuzzy right now, but I'll tell you what my mind can remember.
So what your mind is able to recall from the Encryptica Britannica is that where people, where creatures are either are there be either by choice or having been cursed by a bite from another lycanthrope. It's transferred via the bite. That is something that can be removed if you seek it out. There are boroughs and troops and communities full of these types of creatures, varying from rats to bears to hyenas to you name it. But 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 the curse exists, and they have the ability to be in one of 3 forms. They can be in their humanoid form, they can be in their hybrid form, or they can be in their full large animal form. Um,
And these guys are in their hybrid form right now?
They're in their hybrid form. There's benefit from being in their hybrid form because you kind of get best of both worlds, as it were.
So I'm guessing what we're gonna see tonight, from based on what I remember, probably get a little bite, maybe a little nibble. Things might get a little strange.
Nibble.
Don't get too excited, Barrick. I want you to get sucked into that adventure. You know how hard it is for you to control yourself. So stay to the very edge of the room.
I mean, we're all assuming that they're turning Halia. I mean, she already is one.
Shield, are you nervous?
Are you under the impression that she is already a were rat?
I am, yes.
Are you under the impression that you are going to be turned into a were rat?
Yes.
Shield, I came back from a conversation with Halia. Not for what it's worth, my worries, my reservations about Rags, what's his name?
Raskin.
Raskin. I feel that Raskin is
Not Radigan.
Radigan. I feel that Raskin is genuine in his belief that his people just want to be. I would put your mind to rest if I could.
Yeah, I mean, we've
what I
never been
perceive.
lied to before, so that I think I'm good then. Let's go watch this thing.
I understand. Keep your
feel
guard
better.
up, obviously. Always be ready, and I'll be watching, and you can be watching. But I think we'll be okay. It seems that this is what Talia wants. It seems that she's doing this of her free will and choice.
Talia.
Just one bite, Finn. That's all it takes. Just one bite.
Yeah, I mean, it only takes one bite. I mean, things might get a little handsome
Yeah,
sometimes.
as far as you know, I mean, again, this is more something you heard from historical context and tales of your other companions, but never having actually met one. And as far as the ceremony is concerned, I mean, you have like ceremony what? Like I'm not, obvious. It seems just gleaning from context that obviously she's going to have to make a choice to take a bite, and then whatever happens from there is, happens.
All right, let's go.
Like
Let's
they
get
say,
let's
what
get this
happens
over
in
with.
the cave stays in the cave. Hey, Steven. I mean,
Well,
Field.
let's go. Let's do this. Let's go
Other
watch the
dragon.
ceremony and let's go. Here we go. I walk down. I'm stopping down. Boom, boom, boom.
Don't you
they're
think we
coming
should
to
wait
get
till the
us.
guard comes and gets
Nope.
us?
Not waiting. I am going to go up to the door. Is the door closed?
The door is closed.
I'm going to listen at the door with my awesome perception skills because that's worked out so well for me this entire game.
Okay.
That's an 11. But you know what? Nope. It's just an 11. I don't feel lucky right now.
Okay.
It's an 11.
So all you can
figured.
tell is that someone's walking up. The guard was actually on his way to come retrieve you. So when he pushes the door open, he sees you. Oh, well, you're here. Come in.
I could sense that you needed us, and I walk in.
We are about to begin.
Cool and confident and not scared at all.
So you enter the room. There is definitely a more solemn and somber demeanor over the entire room. There is a section of these humanoids who, humanoids who have kind of set themselves around the perimeter of the room. Helia is sitting, cross-legged on the floor, and Raskin is standing up behind her. He's got a dagger in his hand, and the dagger, the blades of it actually look kind of like, not like a regular blade, but almost just like a long tooth. Kind of a strange shape for a dagger.
Is anyone else armed?
Everyone else has their sword strapped to their
You
hip.
can see people have arms.
Oh, a joke.
I'm here all night, dude. Where is she?
Barrick, are
Hold
you coming
tight.
in?
Be a good time.
So I wasn't down there when the door came open, so I would be up in my room, but since we're all down here, I'll come down.
Okay. So Raskin raises the dagger up. He says, "This is in honor of the moon, that is the father of all that we are. We take this not as a curse, but as a blessing. Helia, are you ready to receive this gift?" She just kind of nods somberly, kind of just extends her neck back like this. He takes the dagger, takes it to her throat, begins to come across it, not cutting a deep gash by any means, but does begin to draw a little line of blood across her neck, drops the knife, and then just rapidly lunges onto her neck with his mouth and just sinks his teeth into it. She stifles a scream, does not make a single noise. He holds there fast with this really crazy look in his eye. Almost seems like he's also restraining himself from completely ripping her throat out, and just holds. And there is a tense silence by everybody that's watching. And then he eventually pulls away, wiping his mouth with his hand, trying not to bare his teeth as he's salivating and just trying to control himself. She hunches over, and all of a sudden you kind of hear this strange crackling and popping. You see her kind of convulge and twist. Eventually the scream does issue forth as she begins to writhe on the ground, and the change begins to happen. Her fingers elongate into these claws, her snout bursts forth. She eventually arcs her back, screams into the cave, just creating this echoey shriek throughout, piercing your ears, and it's just this fascinating, morbid thing to watch as she becomes this hybrid creature of that is this were rat. Eventually, she stops. All the rest of the were rats are now like breathing heavily, watching her and waiting to see what happens next. She gets up and she kind of looks up at him with kind of this weird, twisted smile on her face. He looks down at her and says, "Welcome, daughter, to the brood." He looks around at you and kind of looking for approval, but also kind of looking just kind of to gauge your reaction. And he says, "And now to complete the ceremony." One of the guards walks out and then begins to walk back in, leading in front of him, tied up and blindfolded, a dwarf who is is covered in grime, is stripped of nearly all of his clothing down to like a tunic and a loincloth. He kicks the knees out from the dwarf, making him kneel. Helia stares at the dwarf, stares at Raskin, stares at you, and she is about to lunge on the dwarf.
We need to take a break.
Well, that just happened, and no, as adventure. If it was just a defensive animal, sure. Can't just let it kill.
You're saying this out loud, like you break the silence and you say this.
I do. Yeah.
Everybody,
I got my
shut
hands
up
on both
and
my
roll
short swords.
for initiative.
I got 20. No, just kidding. 18.
Oh my gosh, what is? I got a 4. I got a 4. I got a 4.
It happens. You're saving all your good rolls.
Eric,
16.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them.
I said easy, big fella.
indeed. Okay, so Fenn is attempting to kind of break the mood here. There is a vile glance from Raskin as you open your mouth during what he considers to be a sacred ceremony. Screams from behind Thalia, "How dare you interrupt the initiation? Stand down and watch or die with the dwarf."
Need a fat one, little rat man. We're not gonna let you just kill a dwarf.
Oh man.
That's what he says. Oh,
That's
okay.
what he says.
Oh, man.
Okay.
No,
That-
he's rolling
oh,
initiative.
Oh man. Yeah, that initiative here.
Oh boy, this is.
There's a lot of guys in here.
Yep.
There are a lot of guys.
And where?
Pretty confident. Pretty confident.
Can I scroll over and see what level they are? Like right click and see hit points, resistances.
No.
No, not a thing.
Not a thing. All right. So it is actually your turn, Fen. You interrupted the ceremony. You have stopped them dead in their tracks. There's some pretty angry and ticked off were-rats who are now about to turn on you and make a meal of you.
Don't let them bite you, Finn.
I said, still have the opportunity to walk away. Let the dwarf go. Part of your initiation, but you can't just let innocent die.
So are you holding action by talking, or are you going to do something?
Well, I'm still standing there. I haven't taken my hands on my swords. Ready to fight me?
Oh, they're not impressed by what you're doing. So everybody is preparing to draw swords as you are saying what you're saying in an attempt to stop them from what they're doing.
Here. I am going Next time before the spell ends, Withering Master is going to attack. Pull out both my swords.
All right. Let's do it.
18. First
An 18 will
sword.
definitely, yeah, an 18 will definitely hit. That will miss.
So I hit him with that sword. Sword has the poison on it. And then you want me to roll a d4, right? Poison
Correct.
damage? Total of 9 regular damage and 4 poison.
Then you do your ensnaring strike damage.
And yeah, add me your ensnare your because it creates like a
1d6.
5. When you slice your sword across its belly, it looks real surprised when it grabs the wound because it doesn't feel like it normally would with a regular cut. It looks down at it real pissed off and just sneers at you and bares its teeth. Doesn't really understand what it's feeling, but it knows it's feeling a little bit different. Okay, is that all you got for now? The one who was a little more prepared and amped up for what was about to happen, he was a little more aware. He just charges you, Finn, coming from across the room, jumps into the air and just both his claws come open, and he's just headed straight for your face with his claws, with his mouth open. So the first thing he's going to try to do is scratch your face, and by scratch your face I mean rip it off with one swipe. And he is going to fail miserably at that. And then when his claw just kind of crams into the wall behind you, he attempts to bite your neck. Does 18 hit?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. So the bite clamps down on your neck, only hitting you for 5 damage. It scrapes into your skin. It doesn't feel like it punctures very deep into anything vital or like a jugular, but you now need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Don't become a were-rat, Devon.
Yeah. 17.
You don't feel like his bite was, because it wasn't a very strong bite and didn't go very deep for whatever reason, you do not feel like the curse take over as his mouth is clamped on your neck. All right, Barrick. Barrick.
Pardon me. Oh my goodness, this is all kind of going crazy.
So many of them.
There are
And
so
you're
many.
directly behind one of them.
I am. Thank you, Devon. I'm going to engage this one that's across from me. I'm gonna use my crossbow and I'm gonna shoot him right in the head. Try to drop him. Because that's what I do. Just so I can remember from last time. So it's one roll per 2 hits, or
One roll for every bolt.
One roll for every bolt. Okay.
Yep.
So the first one is 14 plus 6, 20.
Okay, it pierces its way through his cloak.
Okay. And the second one is 12 plus 6, 18.
It also lances directly into his side, kind of near his kidneys.
Okay. So
Let's get some damage.
first
You
one
probably
one-
gets your sneak attack damage also, right?
He's not engaged with anybody.
He's
Wait.
within 5 foot of Devon.
Directly behind him.
He's shooting this guy right here, right?
I'm doing this guy.
Oh.
Oh, he's within 5 feet of me. Anyway, I'm not.
He is. Yeah, he is. Yeah, that's true. He is. Okay. Yeah. So you would have your.
So I do get sneak attack on this
Yeah,
one.
because he was essentially you've got the big elephant guy kind of in his line of in his purview.
Nice. All right. So the first bolt, 1d6 plus 4, 7. And then the second, let's see. And the first bolt gets the sneak attack, right?
They both will.
They both get
No,
sneak attack.
Just the first attack gets sneak attack damage.
Just the first attack is sneak attack damage, obviously.
Obviously. So that's 2d6. Where's my other d6?
Hey, you're the DM. You can do whatever you want.
It's in
okay?
it's in my hand.
True.
Okay.
You get sneak attack damage. You get sneak attack damage.
So that first hit is going to be 17 total.
Okay.
And then the second bolt is 4 plus 4 is 8.
Like our DPS over here.
So that first bolt,
Round.
I mean, you saw it sink. I mean, just deep past that cloak, up kind of around his ribs. But that second bolt, like I said, kind of right in the area of the kidneys, he jolts and he is like he's yelping as he's trying to figure out where that rapid strike suddenly came from. And he is just, I mean, he's bleeding like crazy, almost like you punctured something pretty vital.
He's not dead?
And he's not dead.
Okay. That's crazy. So with my bonus action, my 2-weapon fighting, so that doesn't mean I can make another attack. That just means I can use 2 weapons in the first attack, right?
2 melee weapons.
2 melee weapons.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so I can't do another attack right now.
Correct.
Do you have unarmed attack?
I do have an unarmed strike.
Well, you've taken your attack action. Your
Yeah, I
2
don't
weapon
think-
fighting would be 2 melee weapons. You've got 2 daggers, 2 short
Right.
swords.
Right. Just a clarifying question.
Yeah.
Mm, good. I think that is. Is there? So no, I think I'm good. That's
Okay.
my turn.
Alrighty. Though Fen, the guy right next to you, in a frenzied fury of fur and flying fanciful feats, he sees his companion trying to latch onto you. He's going to go ahead and try and do the exact same thing, and just kind of try to dogpile you with his companion. And he's going to first lead with his mouth wide open, heading right for your inexposed flesh, and just bites down on nothing because you dodged out of the way apparently. But then he's going to try to stick a claw where he missed with his mouth. And what's your AC again?
16.
Where'd it go? And it is going to miss. Just barely miss. Okay. This guy that's in front of Barrick is going to whip around. He actually draws a sword and is going to just try to come down on you with a little bit of a slash. Oh man, that was a good roll. That was an even better roll. So he just, after seeing you damage his favorite buddy friend across, he just comes straight at you, stabbing perfectly at your chest.
Okay, so he's moving away from me then?
Who is?
Okay, if he's moving towards Beric.
This guy, he just turns around and stabs.
Well, you said he was lunging towards him, so like going out of my reach.
No, he's not going out of your reach. He's not leaving his 5-foot square necessarily, but he crits lunging for Beric.
Oh,
Bro.
So Beric, the sword enters your chest, kind of in this almost surprised gasp. You see it sink all the way to the hilt.
Gotta move behind the elephant. Snuck attack that guy that was right in front of you.
Yeah. So
You're a rogue.
it buries itself pretty deep. So you're gonna take max damage, which is gonna be well 8 full hit points full of damage.
oh, I was worried.
Did we decide that crit was like double? No, it's just max damage, right?
Crit is double damage.
It is, yeah. So this is gonna be 2d6 plus, yeah. So it's gonna be 16 total.
Shoot. Hang on, I already put in the 8. So it's 16?
16. But like I say, the sword just sinks all the way to its hilt. He is like tickled to death watching it sink into your little body. Beric's lifeblood kind of comes spurting out of his chest as well, as this nasty little guy is thinking he's gonna make a quick attempt to, even though you're from what he can tell, you're probably gonna expire from that. He's gonna go ahead and try to bite at you, and he comes right on top of your head, and you feel these fangs close in around the top of your skull and scrape your skull. And you're going to take, oh come on, 3 hit points of damage, but you need to roll me a Constitution save.
Okay. Uh, 16 plus 0.
Okay, you're way more concerned about the sword sticking out of your chest, and don't even feel or worry too much about what's going on your up on your head, nor do you feel any different, other than the fact that there's a sword sticking out of your chest.
How does Beric look after that, Mike?
How does he look?
Yeah, on a scale of 0
many hit
to
points
your
do you
hit
have
point
left?
max.
I mean, it hurts. It doesn't feel good.
Okay, if you're good, then I won't worry about it.
No, I'm at 4 of 20. I have
You're at 4 of 20.
You only
Yeah, I
have
have
20
4.
hit points?
I have 4 hit points left. Yeah.
Okay, so that's not just okay. Okay, okay.
Wait,
Yeah,
how do you
Beric's
have
looking-
4 left if you took
16.
4 and then 3 just now?
Oh, I took the 3?
The bite. You took 3 from the bite.
Oh, I did take it? Okay, I thought you said I didn't. 3.
You
Yeah,
just
I have-
didn't get. You just didn't take the curse.
I just didn't have the curse. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so I have 1 hit point left.
Good to know.
Shield, this little guy in front of you. He comes whipping around, charging you as well, leading with his fairly decent looking sword. It's not like it's a piece of garbage, but he's trying to weave and bob and try to find purchase on, somewhere, some little chink in your armor. And I doubt he hits with a 15.
No, he does not hit with the 15. I raise my shield and block.
Yeah, and he's gonna kind of crawl over the top of your shield and attempt to bite your hand, and completely misses as well.
Good.
All right, the guy down here, but near the dwarf, he grabs the dwarf and begins to drag him away from the room.
Ah, for the ceremony.
Yep. All right, Raskin, in a rage and just absolutely infuriated with what's happening, comes behind the rest of his troop, begins to kind of bolster them along, telling them to just murder these foul ingrates who, how dare they, come into my house, disgrace my house, dishonor my family, dishonor on your cow, and is going to come here and try to help flank with the elf. He's going to reach through and is going to miss in a blind rage with his sword. Shield.
I DM question. I have a trunk and I can do things with my trunk, so it's one of my abilities. It says you can use your trunk as a snorkel, grass things, lifting up to a number of pounds equal to 5 times your strength or whatever. So what I would like to do is I would like to use my trunk for laying on of hands on Barrack, but then can I make a normal action with my hands after that?
Is your laying on of hands a bonus action?
It is.
Or is using your trunk a bonus action? Let me ask that.
It doesn't say. It just says you can use your trunk as a snorkel or grasp things, lifting up to a number of pounds equal to 5 times your strength. It would be essentially me just using a third appendage to reach over and touch Barrack, who was right next to me, and then do my turn after that. So it'd be happening at the same time. Is what I want to do.
I got you. So let's say that once per long rest you can do that. You're not so engaged in battle that you have the wherewithal enough with your trunk to reach out and reach something you can touch in range, and use that for your laying on of trunk.
Okay, that works. So Mike, I am going to lay on a trunk Barrack, and I am going to give him 19 hit points.
Okay. Thank you. You didn't have to do that.
Oh yeah, I'll just let you die. That's fine.
I mean,
and then
he's had a good run. He was deceived. He like tried to assure everybody that this was gonna be okay.
The rat that's holding on to the hilt of the sword looks in like morbid surprise as the sword just pushes its way back out of Barrack's chest.
All right, so the one in front of me is the one that Barrack almost killed. So the one in front of Mike has not been hit yet. So I am going to cast Guiding Bolt on this rat right in front of me.
Okay.
And let's see, that is a, what do I need to do? So it's a hit +5. So I'm going to roll a die. Hopefully that gives me something good. Not that one. That's failed me many times. Oh my gosh, that is a 3 + 5. I am feeling lucky though, finally.
Come on, man.
I don't know what is wrong with me. Holy cow. It's like all the dice. Right. So I'm going to use a luck point and I'm going to re-roll that. I'm going to throw all these dice away.
They're cursed now.
Son of a... That is a 1.
You rolled a critical fail.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Might have just hit Mike.
And you're casting Guiding Bolt?
Yes.
But you can feel lucky again, right?
No, I can only do it once per turn.
So your bolt is like a straight shoot, point your finger out and like cook something, right?
So the guiding bolt comes from my shield, and it's just it comes from my shield.
It comes from your
So
shield.
it's just like a beam of energy, yeah.
Okay. You this situation has been a little what's the word? Come on.
Disconcerting.
Disconcerting. This has been a disconcerting and disheartening situation to watch everything that's taken place. It's really gone against just the core of who you are as a fighter of righteousness, as someone who tries to trust in the goodness of all beings and everybody around them. When you try to cast Guiding Bolt, the hand of Torm falls from your hand and your shield just lands in a clatter in front of you. It doesn't do any damage to anything, you or anybody else, but it's almost as if it kind of refuses your lack of faith in what's happening around you.
Okay.
Falls to the ground. So it's going to take you an action to pick it up.
So I yelled, Talia, we trusted you.
Talia, whose turn it happens to be, Helia, because her name is Helia.
Not the singer Talia?
Not the singer Talia.
Songstress?
When you say that and you glance at her, there is no inkling or recollection of Helia in the eyes of the creature that is now like down on the ground, that has just changed itself into this. There is a frenzy and a feral nastiness to this thing as it just comes bounding over, squeezing its way between the rat in front of you and the wall, and just is reaching out with claw and mouth out of just sheer and utter just feral nastiness. I mean, just there's nothing of intelligence behind these eyes. It's just animalistic. So with your shield down, don't you lose a couple AC?
No.
What? Come
No,
on.
I wouldn't. So if I were to drop my shield, I would just call it back to me.
You would normally,
Because you had
So
a critical failure.
but it's currently on the ground.
Let's see. It gives me, I believe, an AC of 2. Let
It
me
does an
just turn
AC.
off
It should
real
be an
quick.
AC of 2.
Yeah, so I have an AC of 16 right now.
So her bite misses you, but her claws with a 19
That hits.
find their way through kind of the cuff of your
Chainmail.
gauntlets. Yeah, and just are dig into your yeah, your arm,
Skin.
your forearm.
My dermis.
Yeah, your dermis. They dig in deep enough that she draws some blood for 5 hit points. But she's pretty kind of not attached to you, but she's holding on pretty strong.
Do I have to make a con check or no?
You don't, because she didn't. Her bite failed. It's her claw that got you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And this is where the party dies. All right, Devon.
I was getting kind of tired of Barrick anyway.
Fen,
Alrighty.
we all kind of rattle up in your face.
I'm going to continue to attack the one on my right with my short sword.
Okay.
You have like an ultimate. Can you pop an ultimate? You have a super?
Nope.
If only it were that easy.
So I got a 23 with the first sword.
Nice.
That's definitely a hit.
And then a 12 with
A 12 with your second one?
Yeah.
Oh, so it does hit actually. Yeah.
I got higher on the last time.
I know. I apologize. I looked at the wrong number. So you do hit.
You're saying I should get free hit points from the last turn.
Just slice this guy up right now. I think you're good.
Okay, so I get 1d6 for the first one. So 10 first word.
Okay.
And 9
You lop
on
off
the
a
second.
good chunk of you lop off a good chunk of his ear and part of his face with that first strike.
Dead then?
Nope. You're not completely dead.
Well, so I got 9 with the next hit.
The next hit, you come back around and take his head clean off his shoulders.
Let me see. All right, so I have Horde Breaker special. Once on each of your
It's a
turns.
special.
What it says. It's special.
Okay.
It says once on each of your turns, when you make a weapon attack, you can make another attack with the same weapon against a different creature that is within 5 feet of the original target range.
Nice.
So I am going to attack old rat face himself. Red guy.
Mm-hmm. Raskin?
Raskin. And I got 6, 5.
Definitely hits.
And for 5.
Okay, a
Five
good
damage,
glancing
5
blow, a
damage.
good glancing blow, but you do draw blood.
I think that is it.
Okay, the guy right in front of you is going to draw his sword finally. He's going to come at you with that. 15 does not hit, I'm assuming.
Nope.
And then he cannot help but try to just chomp on your face again. Come on. 15 and 19. So a 19, he bites you. You're going to take 6 hit points of damage with the bite and roll me a constitution save.
Got 4.
You feel really funny.
Oh boy.
That is true.
There is definitely something nasty about that last bite. It's almost like, when you bite down on tinfoil, or you're
Who knows
eating,
that?
or you're eating a McDonald's hamburger and you munch down on that hard thing in it, right? It just kind of jolts your whole body. There's like this coppery, nasty taste in your mouth, and yeah, you feel really strange. Eric.
All right. I am going to cast a spell called Thunder Wave. Sorry, Steve. I
Oh.
kind of have to do
No,
it.
it's
to get
fine. We
people
need some
away from
AoE up
me.
in here.
We
Yeah.
do. So I'm gonna cast Thunder Wave, which is a wave of thunderous force that sweeps out from me, and every creature in a 15-foot cube originating from me must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed away 10 feet. So, DM question.
Mm-hmm.
So, a 15-foot cube originating from me would actually only be 5 foot, right? Because if you do that, you're drawing a 30-foot cube. That
Well,
makes
so
sense.
the 15-foot, right? So the 15-foot cube starts from, right? So that's 10
Would
feet.
be 7.5 feet out.
No,
Right. So it would be the block in front of me and the block behind me.
that's
right?
correct. That's
Okay.
correct. So,
So
5,
it
10,
would
15.
be him,
Yeah, I
him,
mean, right.
and then Steve would have to do one as well.
That's
I
correct.
mean, the way it reads to me, it means that the cube just has to originate from Mike. He can direct it where it wants. Like he
Can
could
you direct the originating location?
because it's not centered on him.
So
Actually, I think
you both
Thunderwave
are
is
right.
centered on him.
I don't think it doesn't say it is.
Let's see. Hold on.
But it
Yes,
also doesn't
sweeps
say
out
that it
from-
isn't.
It does. It sweeps out from you, so you are the center of the cube.
Are you sure?
It is. A wave of thunderous force sweeps out from you. In other words, you don't drop the cube of thunder.
Well,
like-
but then listen to this. Each creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you. So if the cube comes from me, it's how
Correct.
Steve did it. So it would be 1, 2, 3.
No.
Because the cube would be coming out
So
from me.
drop a 15-foot cube or like around you, right? So
So it
show you.
says, according to D&D Beyond, since Thunderwave has a range of self, the point of origin is the caster, which must be on the surface of the cube. Thus, it's impossible for the caster to be inside the cube. You can create a cube adjacent to your space.
Oh.
That means that then?
I like
That means you should get every person right there in front of you. Like
So
you'll get all 5 of those people in that.
You'll get you'll get every one of these people right here. Yep.
So I can do that. So that's what I'm gonna
So
do.
as long as it's adjacent to you, right? And creates that cube. Nice.
Right.
That's what it says on D&D Beyond.
I like
Hey,
that. I like
that's
that.
so
That makes
good.
sense.
I like that too.
That's a good interpretation of that.
So I'm gonna go ahead and cast that.
Nice.
And so each of these creatures needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. So let's do the Constitution save, and we're gonna start with the first guy. So we'll start with this dude. That is a nat 19. So that's a
Okay.
con save of 20. But I'm assuming that we're taking half damage.
So yeah, so then he'll take. So he'll
So you
take
roll-
half damage.
So roll
and
so
not
roll
be-
2d8, and he'll take half that damage.
Okay, so 7 plus 4 is 27.
11.
Oh, it's not 27.
No,
So 11 divided by 2 is 6.
it's 5.5.
Yep.
We round up. And he doesn't get pushed back
He does not get pushed back because he's saved, right?
because he saved. Yep.
Okay. So we'll move on to this dude right here.
So that's the dude who is like within an inch of life, right?
The dude in front of Shield.
Yeah, he's pretty close to dead. So I'm making a con save of what?
Whatever your constitution is.
So it's
No,
16.
you
but
have a
again,
number, Mike.
yeah, it's your number that I'm trying to beat.
Oh, it's my number?
Yep.
I'll tell you on the spell.
With
trying
all
to
of
beat-
with all of my modifiers, it's 36.
You must make
12.
your con save is 12.
36.
Okay, so we got a nat 15. So go ahead and roll the damage.
So that's 7
take
plus
half.
5.
No, roll damage again, like for
No,
each
I
person.
know I
roll-
did. I did roll it. I did
Oh.
So he takes 6 damage.
7 plus 5.
Is
So
12.
6 total.
Yeah.
Okay. He looks like he's rocked. He's kind of he's still standing, but he's a little dazed. He's not exactly with
Seriously?
it. Yeah,
And he's still alive?
It rocked him pretty good, but not all night long.
Oh,
Did it push him away at all?
It did not.
No, because he.
Nope.
No, he's saved.
All right, Halia is going to make her, and she does not succeed on her Constitution save.
All right, so she's gonna take all of this,
take full
which
damage.
is 8 plus 8 plus 8,
Nice.
Sweet, and then she's going to get knocked back, right?
10
And-
feet.
5, 10.
Do you have an
Okay.
opportunity attack, Steven?
She slumps.
They got moved out of
she's
his
not trying-
reach.
She's not retreating.
I can guarantee
gets-
you, if we did
She
that, we'd
gets
get hit.
thrown back in a thunderous wave, and she falls in a heap. All right, next dude fails his save as well. Give me that damage.
That's gonna be 3 plus 5, so that's 8 total. And a 10-foot push.
Right. So he's gonna go this way, and then Raskin.
Just because I enjoy rules. So Thunderwave pushes a creature out of threat range of the fighter. The fighter is not moved by Thunderwave. The fighter gets an opportunity attack. It says
Nice.
you do not provoke an opportunity attack if something moves you without using your movement. So if something else, some other force moves someone out of the way, you don't get an opportunity attack.
I thought you said it. I thought you read it
That's
first.
not what happens in Divinity original.
No, Divinity's beating us, I think.
So we're saying it doesn't. It doesn't.
No,
No,
They have to move
the creature has to
themselves.
move on. Yeah,
Of their
they have
own
to move
free
on their
will,
own
right?
accord.
Yeah. Okay. All right, and then Raskin himself saves. So go ahead and
Oh,
The
hold
other
up.
guy got pushed beyond him, but he didn't knock over Raskin?
no. Raskin dodged.
So this will be 7. So divided by 2 is 4. And he doesn't get pushed.
He does not get pushed. He holds fast.
Sorry, guys, I tried.
No, dude, that's we need AOE right there. That's good. You can just do it again next turn too.
And I have no action left.
You have movement. You can move.
Then he would get that other guy would get.
Bonus action disengage.
So
He's the rogue, and he can disengage.
I actually have that.
But there's only one direction for you to move.
And that door is open, closed.
It's push. It's not locked. Let's put it that way. You can push through it.
Do
that.
Yeah, I think I'll. Oops! Stop drawing stuff. How do I delete my stuff? Can I delete these shapes?
Select your arrow, then click it, then delete it. Yeah.
Select your arrow, click it, delete it. Click
Got it, Toyota.
delete it.
So I'm
Okay.
guessing my shield was blown by Thunderwave also.
I hadn't
I
thought
were
of that,
to
but we
drop
could
it.
definitely do that. Which, I mean, you're gonna just call it back to you. So
Right.
yeah.
So yeah,
Sure.
so I'll back up. I'll back up
shield.
to here.
All right, and you're gonna do your. So your disengage is a bonus action, right?
My disengage is a bonus action. It's part of cunning action.
Nice. Okay, cool. So you disengage without a problem.
I am gonna disengage without a problem, but I'm only gonna get back to right here because then I'll lose line of sight if I move any.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Is that you then?
do you guys remember the cat tiger from the 5-0 movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these characters upside down look like Tiger if he were different
Yeah, with his
colors.
mustache.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
You'll never be able to not see that now.
I have been
Oh my
thinking
gosh,
about
yeah.
that. I have been
What
thinking
the
about
heck?
that since my last turn.
Yeah, they're not people anymore. It's
They are
Tiger.
happy. They are weird looking cats with their creepy tongue poking out.
Yeah.
Tiger.
Oh my gosh. Why did you do that to me?
Because I've been staring at that for 20
Happy
minutes.
scene. This is like one of those Garfield memes now.
All right.
Sorry, John.
And with that, I need to run to the restroom real quick. So
Okay,
time out.
you do that.
I guess you guys can keep going. You don't need me right now.
No, because this guy who just got thundered is going to attack the elephant. So not Barrick. So 17 plus 5 is going to hit you,
Yeah, that probably
Shield.
hits.
and then he's going to come on down, drawing his sword again, trying to find any place he can along any chink in your armor or gap in your plates. What are you wearing anyway? Just chainmail, right?
Just chain, yeah.
Okay. He's gonna try to unhinge that chain and hit you for 3. He's weak.
I like it.
He's weak. Okay, but he is gonna try to bite you,
That's fine.
and he's gonna miss. All right.
Good.
And his buddy in front of him, who's just barely holding on, he's also gonna take a swing and a miss. And he's gonna bite, and he's also gonna miss. So
Good.
that's a fail. And not gonna move. Raskin is pissed off and is going to dive on Ben, or dive forward Ben. First with the sword is going to definitely hit on that. And hit you for 8.
Yep.
This comes
Okay.
right across your chest, slashing a pretty decent gash in your leather armor plus your skin. And then he is
I mean, not really.
ravenous with hunger and is going to try to bite you best he can, and is going to miss with a 10. All right, Fen, or Shield.
So I am going to muster up all my resolve, and I'm going to say, Torm, do not abandon me. And I stick out my hand and call my shield to my arm.
Your shield comes forth.
And I am going to use Channel Divinity. And I am going to use my, it is called my Legendary Strike. So I get a critical action on 19 or 20, and that lasts for 1 minute.
Okay.
And I am going to attack the rat to my right, because that one has more hit points than the one right in front of me.
Okay.
So here we go. Let's see if I can actually do something. That is a 15 plus 5. That is a 20.
You're gonna smack him solidly right in the cranium, crunching
And that
his
is
nose
one-
into his face.
And
Hey,
that is
cool.
1d8 plus 5. That is 7 plus 5. That is what? That's 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's 12 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah, you hear a pretty satisfyingly sickening crack as his nose just caves into his face, and teeth and whiskers and blood come pouring down.
All right. And that will be my turn. Yep, that's my turn.
Talia, or Helia, her name is Helia,
Your
is,
turn too.
is still down for the count, and it is your turn, Finn.
Okay. So I'm going to cast strike action. On here, I have a question though. So I have like up at the top, there's like a modifier, spell attack, and save, right?
Which are we talking about? Ensnaring strike.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering because my modifier says +3 and the spell attack says +5. I don't know what those are for.
So let's look at this real quick. On your, so I'm looking at your character sheet and I'm only seeing on the ensnaring strike. I'm just seeing it's a save of 13. So to restrain them, right? I have to fail a strength check for them to be, which we haven't been doing. We haven't been checking for the restraint because it's essentially vines, right, that come out and hold them fast in place.
Yeah, and that guy that I killed the last turn should have also taken before because he shouldn't have been able to attack me. Well, the save throw, but he also takes 1d6 of damage at the beginning of the.
Okay. Well, remember to do that every time you cast your spell, or that when you use your spell, let us know what it's doing. So basically, I have to beat a strength check of 13 to not be ensnared.
But so what I'm wondering is, so for the ensnaring strike, like I don't have to worry about that +5 or anything. That's because it's just the next time you hit a creature, so it hits you, then
Let me look at your. Hold on.
because the next time you hit a creature with a weapon attack before the spell ends, Withering Massacre.
Right. Right. And then where are you seeing the +5? I'm not seeing the +5.
It's just up when I'm looking in my spell sheet. There's just like there's a modifier of
That's-
+3. Spell
That's your
attacks.
spell modifier.
Yeah, that's to make it hit. That's to make it hit, right? So
Oh, okay, so
your
I'm just I
modifiers,
don't
yeah.
need to worry about that for this spell.
Nope, you don't, not for that specific spell. No.
That's all I was just.
I got you.
Oh,
I
do
got
I
you.
need to worry about this? It says if I.
This is
sorry?
yeah. This one's just not a hit. This because there's no need to roll for that to hit.
So I cast that and
Raskin?
asking.
Don John.
Oh, rat face.
Don John Raskin.
And 16.
You're gonna hit. So now I need to try to make a strength save to see if I get restrained. And an 18 is gonna save.
So that
And
was the
then-
first short
Yeah,
sword.
okay.
But you still do damage, right?
But the
Roll your damage for the first one.
well, because I'm just I just roll the damage after everything. So the
Gotcha.
second one is a heavy whiffer.
A whoosh over his head.
D6 plus 8.
Okay.
So
You cut a nasty long gash down from his shoulder to his forearm. Because he tried to block with his, he didn't had no recourse other than to lift his arm up, and you slashed him pretty good.
sounds good. So like, is that It's not there anymore because you did the saving throw, right? It doesn't.
Correct.
You have to
Right.
just-
Right.
Okay. Um. The other guy's too far out of my reach, so I can't use my board breaker. End
What
of
about
my.
the guy to your? What about the guy to your left?
No, he has to be within 5 feet of the target that I.
Oh, of the target. Okay, gotcha. Cool, 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 cool.
Says you can make another attack with the same weapon against a different creature that is within feet of the and within range of.
That's good ability. I like it.
I wouldn't be able to reach.
So the guy that was thrown back against the wall with thunder, he is gonna pick himself up off the ground, head back towards Fen with his sword not raised but actually leading, like he's gonna try to just plunge it into your head. 15. Does a 15 hit?
Nope.
Does not. Well, when he does miss, his sword kind of goes behind your back. You kind of deftly dodge it, but he's gonna take that chance and try to bite you under your chin and misses. Although as he misses, he does kind of sniff, and then he gets this really nasty, evil grin on his face after he smells you.
Are you wearing Axe body spray?
True, I did get bitten before, so I might have the smells like rat butt.
All right, Barrick.
I understand.
My turn. I am
Please.
going to use my crossbow, engage this jabroni.
Should just thunderwave those guys again.
Well, I moved back, so if I do,
Just
you'd
move
have to
forward.
move forward and do it.
Yeah.
Think it'll work?
I mean, they get hit either way, whether they
Right.
make a save or not.
Right. Okay, I'll
He-
try it
he-
again.
Right.
He can do a
Yeah, do it again.
Try it again. So yeah, I'll move forward and cast Thunder Wave on 1, 2, 3.
Yep, those three right there.
They'd be in the what you call it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Area of
start
effect.
with that guy.
Okay.
So you're rolling against 12.
Yep. So that's 13 on the first guy. So he's gonna take half damage. So roll your.
And have geez. So he'll take 5 hits, and he will not be pushed back.
Okay.
And then this guy,
Next guy. He is just barely gonna make a 12.
tie goes to me, right?
No.
Oh.
And then
that's another. So he'll take 5 also.
he will also take 5. That's the number. Okay. This guy just can't hack it anymore. And when the thunder smacks into him, he tumbles head over foot, rolling back, and crumples in a pretty nasty heap, in a bloody mess on to the wall on this side, and he is out of the fight. Raskin is going to completely fail on this.
Like a crit fail.
No, just gonna completely fail.
Jeez, he's gonna take 4 total, because
Wow.
that's what happens when you get to do it that way.
Okay, he
But he
gonna.
does get pushed back.
So let's do this. He's supposed to get pushed 10 feet back, right? He's gonna
Right.
come bouncing off this wall, and you go ahead and roll me another. Let's give it a D8 worth of damage.
8.
Nice.
I was wondering about hitting the wall.
Yeah, because his momentum was not nearly dissipated, by the time he got to the wall.
Right.
So he bounces off pretty satisfyingly with a thud. And that's all you doing?
No, I'm gonna use my cunning action again to disengage.
Okay. Okay. That leaves this guy no choice but to come up in front of this.
So he moved
Giant-
out of my area, so I get an
He did move out of your area. He did, in fact.
That's the only
opportunity attack, baby.
Kevin's like, I know that rule.
Because I get screwed all the time in Divinity Originals.
All
Opportunity
the time.
attacks. And I failed.
So you're like, yeah, go away.
Like, dang it, you guy.
I missed, guys.
Okay, he doesn't even notice the lame, feeble, elvish attempt to hit him, and he's gonna try to stick his sword up through the bottom of Shield's tusks and crits.
And I am feeling really lucky, and I don't think you do crit.
Dadgummit.
I think you rolled a 17, but it's still not a crit. And
But
since my AC is 18,
Well, it's
It's
a nat
17.
17,
Plus his.
yeah, so you still get your
Yeah.
modifier, but it's not double damage, so
but
I'll
it's not
take it.
double damage. It's not double damage. You got this guy. All right. So the sword doesn't quite.
I just want to point out that when I
Uh-huh.
tried to roll low, I still rolled the 17. So even when I roll high, it sucks for me.
Nice. All right. So although his sword doesn't quite like pierce your larynx, it does get pretty close to a jugular and hits you for 8, coming up under your chin and through part of your face.
All right.
And then he just can't help but take a bite. Oh man, that went flying. So that's a nat 19. He's gonna bite you.
I don't think he is.
Ah,
I think he's going to roll a 3 instead.
How much of this? That's good. How many more
my
lucky throws
last-
you got?
That's my last one until the next long rest.
Gotcha. Cool. All right. Okay. This guy ends up dragging the dwarf out of the room. Raskin gets up, drags himself from the ground, and almost like on all fours is just barreling through, recognizing who the epicenter of the and he's gonna try to oh, you stop it.
Before you say anything, he
Uh-huh.
would have crossed right in front of Fen.
He would have crossed right in front of Finn.
Devin, you're also muted.
Opportunity attack.
I could have translated that.
My opportunity attacks are not very good.
Oh, come on.
Did you miss?
What?
Yeah, I missed.
What's the point of that ability?
He is he's gonna dive through this door, kind of pushing it aside and stabbing right for Barrick with a 21.
Dang.
So no.
He misses with a 21.
I'm just seeing if it works.
Yeah, you know.
It works for me sometimes.
Just by saying no.
This enters your shoulder. Again, for the second time in this fight, you feel the blade of a sword just pass cleanly through your body, nearly to the hilt for 8.
For 8.
Mm-hmm. He
Okay.
grabs you by the shoulder and tries to clamp down with his mouth. And with a natural 20,
Oh my gosh.
bites you, inflicting another 8 points of damage. Actually,
But it's double, right?
yeah. Well, at 8 plus. Hold on, because the bite itself for 12 points of damage total. And give me a Constitution saving throw.
Here's my dice. 6.
You as
It
you
doesn't
slip,
matter. I'm dead.
all right,
Doesn't
as you
matter.
slip into death.
I'm
You're
out.
not dead.
No, I'm out.
You're just unconscious.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be dead here.
You're knocking on death's door.
Yeah, you are.
Knock, knock,
Yeah,
knocking
his
on
his
the
bite finds more than he even expected, and just yeah, you fall down in a heap. Shield.
I see this happen, and I call upon Torm, and I cast Thunder Smite as a bonus action.
Mhm.
And I swing the hand of Torm right down on top of Raskin.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to choose a different die, one that has not failed me all night. That is 9 plus 5. That is 14.
That is gonna hit.
Oh, it hits. I was worried there. So all right. So I'm gonna roll some damage because that's what my
Okay.
shield does. So that is, let me see. Hand of Torm is 1d8 plus 5. What does the d8 look like? That is 4 plus 5. That is 9. And then when I hit with Thunder Smite, where's Thunder Smite? The first time you hit with a melee weapon attack during the spell's duration, your weapon rings with thunder that is audible within 300 feet of you, and the attack deals an extra 2d6.
Bad yum.
So extra 2d6. That is an extra 5 damage. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage total.
Okay.
And
Okay.
additionally, if the target is a creature, it must succeed on a strength saving throw or be pushed 10 feet away from you and knocked prone.
So when you bring this shield to bear, and what do you do? What are you gonna like smash him against the wall? How do you hit him?
So shield would be smashing down into the floor.
Okay.
And then the thunder would just, I mean, it'd be a crack of thunder would come out, and then that would blast him from the floor to the wall.
So as you come down on top of him, the sound of his cracking body is indistinguishable from the sound of thunder, because as you're breaking through his fragile body, the thunder suddenly takes hold, and you push your shield all the way to the floor, and this guy practically disintegrates as he is sent in all directions, in a spray of viscera and bone and body parts, as the thunder just cracks the floor too when you come down and just completely obliterate this nasty dude into nothingness.
I like it. I did something right this game, guys. Took me a while, but I showed up.
Woohoo!
I like it, Steve. Good job, man.
And that's my turn.
Okay.
Good job, man.
Ben, your ears are slightly ringing from what just took place, but it was actually something you can take pride in as you watch the leader of this nasty band just be completely obliterated.
You probably all can't hear anything after the 2 thunder waves
Right.
in a small cave.
I
So
know.
none of us can hear anyway.
Everybody should be taking like
We're all deaf.
psychic damage at this point. But
All right, so I am going to attack to my right.
okay.
19.
Definitely gonna hit.
It's and 24. Second one,
That's also a hit.
5 damage on the first, and 10 damage on the second.
Nice.
Yeah, you kind of practically eviscerate him a little bit. He's holding on to his bloodied arm, but he's still in the fight.
I look at him and I say, I'd tell you to eat rat crap, but you'd probably enjoy that. And that's That's
Is that psychic damage? Because that gave me psychic damage.
I know, right? It was not. It was not a. It was not a mark
that's
spell.
a turn.
Okay. He is, after seeing his boss be exploded by a giant elephant person, he, despite the fact that you're going to take a swing at him, is going to begin to run away.
You can do it, Devon.
I got 17.
It's a hit.
My same attack, short sword attack thing. The
Correct.
Six.
Yeah. Roll your sword, please.
7 damage.
Okay. You almost hamstring him completely. He goes down to the ground. He is dragging one useless foot behind him. But he is not quite dead.
You were the chosen one. Just kidding. You're gonna die.
All right, Barrick,
Don't
give me your first death save.
Are they all 3 on this one turn, or is it one and then a turn
one.
and then one and
Just
then
one.
a turn?
Yeah, just one per turn.
The first one is an 8, so that's a failure.
That's a fail.
Failure. Okay.
Okay. Shield. He, because he's already engaged with you, he's not going to try to leave. He's a little frenzied by what just happened to his boss. He's still going to try to bring his sword up under your neck. 16 plus 20 is a hit.
That's a hit.
16 plus 20. Dang.
16 plus 4 is 20. 16 plus 5 is 21, which is actually is. Oh, and he's gonna find a pretty decent opening and hit you for 8.
Wow. Okay.
And then he is once again going to try to bite you
And he's gonna miss.
and is going to miss. All right, it is your turn, Shield.
Let's see. Two.
I yell out, kill him. I can come and heal Barrick.
So I am going to take another attack at this guy in front of me with the Hand of Torm. And that is 11 plus 5. That is a 16.
That'll hit.
And that is a 1d8 plus 5. That is 8 plus 5. That is 13 damage.
And you're coming down on top of him again?
Yep.
Okay. His spine snaps and he just kind of pops out like you know how you, like, if you bend like a short piece of straw, and you accidentally let go, it just kind of goes flying. It flicks away.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens. He just kind of bends and snaps and poof, flies over to the in a pile of dead rat.
All right. And I am going to come right over here and use my action to move to right there next to this other
Okay.
were rat that is limping away.
Okay.
Cat. That's a cat.
Were cat. Yeah.
All
Over to the cat.
right. Halia is still out. It is your turn, Fen.
Okay, so I have the spell Cure Wounds. I can use that to.
You can.
You have to be
yes, you
touching
can.
him though.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna move against my better judgment.
Mhm.
I'm gonna write this day down. This is the day that
That's
Finn
actually
healed
not a bad
Barrick.
judgment, actually. Pretty
Uh,
good judgment.
And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds, which is 1d8 3
Mm-hmm.
for health. And so you get 9 health.
Thanks, man.
You no
You
longer
didn't
have
have
to
to
worry
do that.
about saving throws, and you are a little more than stabilized. Barrick.
You didn't have to do that. What?
Well, I mean, he didn't. Okay, let's see. Okay, did that work? It did work.
And
Okay. this guy seeing you coming charging at him is going to turn and make a pretty feeble attempt at a swing at you, Shield, and he's going to hit.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have
Reload.
done that then. I didn't think you would hit. He's got his leg cut off and bleeding
But
out.
he only hits you for 3.
Oh, you say only, but that's a
He
lot.
hit, but it was it wasn't a mighty blow. I mean, of course, if you're really low on hit points.
How much did he get you for, Steve?
3.
He hit me for 3.
He is gonna, and he's kind of too out of it to try to bite you. He's a little too afraid. It is your turn, Barrick.
I've got a healing potion on me that gives me 2d4 plus 2, so I'm gonna go ahead and drink that.
Okay.
Oops, I should roll that in the box. So that's 6 plus 2 is 8.
It's back at 17 health.
Yeah, with the help of my comrades. I like it.
All right, Shield.
All right, I am gonna 5 hit points. Devin, how many spell slots do you have left?
None. 3.
Okay, I'm gonna bring my shield down on top of this guy. I'm guessing because he's prone, I have advantage on the attack.
He's not fully prone. I'm just saying he's dragging a foot behind him.
You said he was crawling around.
Well, he's not like
That
a
is a
ragdoll.
natural 20. Okay.
Oh,
that
that
is
is
a
a
natural 20.
you're gonna do
So much
crit
damage.
double damage.
Should I even roll?
You don't need to roll. You don't need to roll,
gonna roll anyway.
unless
So
for
you're gonna
some
roll
reason your
once.
double damage is less than 3.
All right. So I'm gonna roll double damage just because I can. That's 5, 7. That is 12, 24 damage plus 5.
Feeling somewhat vindictive about what you just had to go through after witnessing, first of all, a pretty nasty, like unholy ritual. Second of all, being attacked by these little jerks. You turn
And
your
Shield is
shield.
so upset because Shield knew something like this was gonna happen.
Shield felt this was
It
coming.
too good.
You turn your shield, and instead of smashing straight down, you kind of come slicing down like a blade and just bisect this guy.
All right. So I do that, and then I'm gonna take my movement and come down the hallway. And I'm gonna say, leave the dwarf and run, and you may live.
Do you open that door?
Yeah, I kick that door open so
don't
hard.
Open the door.
No, I kick it open so hard. It's the hardest I've ever kicked anything in my life.
The door
I'm like-
goes flying
I'm
open,
like Viggo Mortensen kicking a
splintering
Or-
into a million pieces. And when your sight finally adjusts to the darkness beyond, you see
Oh my gosh.
not only do you see the guy that was dragging the dwarf away, but very large, nasty, fully formed rats the size of people with their teeth bared, their eyes glinting, and bloodlust in their eyes. And that is where we will end.
Shield, you fool!
Is there not enough experience to level up yet?
Like right in the middle of the fight, can we level up and regain hit points right in the middle of the fight?
Well, I mean,
Is that how that works?
Yeah,
I mean, we killed their leader.
you did, and it would have been a good leveling up place.
Freaking paladin. Everyone, thanks for hanging out. We'll see what happens next time because spell slots are spent, healing potions are spent, and
I've got healing potions.
I do too, but we're also all right. Until next time, there's a thing that I'm going to play, and it's going to be a cool thing that I play too. I'm just warning you now, as I find it, it's going to be pretty cool when I play it. I promise.
It plays.
All right, I'm